Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You ain't looking. Welcome back to another edition of West Ham Bad TV's Friday Night Pint. We're back here every Friday. Oh, it's gone off. We're back here every Friday night as usual. We're waiting for Scotty. What is going on? My whole system shut down there. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can see you as well.
What's going on? My whole thing just shut down.
That's what happens when you muck about before you go live, trying to be a silly boy. Cheers.
I hope everyone in the chat's well. What we got to drink tonight?
Do you know what? I've had to open my Grey Goose tonight because I run out of Jack Daniels. So I'm on the vodka and Coke tonight. Yeah.
I'm on the old bud that's been sitting in the garden for the past 2 weeks.
I did have some vodka. I was going to join you for a tipple tonight, but I don't know where the fuck it's gone. I did have it, but that's all going to pot tonight. We've lost Scott. Where is he?
No, he's logging on. He's MacBook updates. His MacBook always seems to update before we go live.
Yeah, it's because it's probably the only time he touches it. That's why.
You know, I think it is. I think he's having a cheeky little Chinese and he's trying to get it all down him before he has to come
definitely. On. 100% he's having a cheeky little sausage in batter or something.
Friday night Chinese.
Been this week, all right?
Huh?
That's how we've been this week, all right?
Yeah, it's same as every week, really, isn't it? It's working, home, sleep, working, home, sleep. West Ham, working, home, sleep, West Ham. Yeah, it's just it's the same, innit? Fucking doing my head in now. I just want it all over and done with. But we're getting there. You know, we're getting closer. You know, the vaccine's getting out there now. So fingers crossed, we're not too far away now.
I hope not. I've got to mention that before we get started. A good friend of mine, my friend Elliot Watson. I work with him. He's become a good friend of mine. He's helped me a lot in work. You know, he's someone that I can always speak to. I know he watches this show religiously, and I know he'll be watching now. He watched this show last week with his granddad. His granddad wasn't very well. Michael Brown, his granddad's name was. And sadly this week, which is something that's upset my old office because Elliot's not there at the moment. His granddad sadly passed away. Now, it's sad to hear any Hammer passing away, but when it's a good friend of yours, it hits home. And I hope Elliot's okay, and I hope he's watching tonight. But can we raise a glass? I forgot my glass, but can we raise a glass to Mike Brown, my good friend Elliot Watson's granddad, who sadly passed away this week? We're all thinking about you, my friend.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so what we got to speak to tonight?
What we got to speak to, or we got to speak about
tonight? Sorry, I'm reading the chat.
Yeah, well, I think the main thing, the starting point is obviously the news come out today about Ogbonna and Yarmolenko. You know me, I always take positives out of negatives, but I think the good thing is Ogbonna's not going to need an operation. It's just a major sprain, which hopefully the swelling will go down in the next few days. So hopefully he won't be out as long as people first thought. So that's a good thing. Yarmolenko as well. People saying yesterday he's going to be out for the rest of the season with ligaments. It's not that bad. It looks like it's going to be the same as Ogbonna, really, 3 or 4 weeks. So on the good news, Antonio looks like he might be back for Monday, which is a major boost. Diop should be available. Balbuena should be available. People were saying that Bowen was injured. He wasn't injured. He was just taken off for tactical reasons. So, yeah, I mean, it's a major blow losing Ogbonna, but I've got confidence in the back still with Dawson, whoever he partners up with. I think you might see us go to a 3 at the back again. Maybe Balbuena, Diop and Creswell, and playing Soufal right wing, and maybe Ben Johnson on the left. That's what we might see. But
I think Balbuena's injured, though. I think that's why he didn't come on. He got injured in the warm-up.
He's going to be fit. I was reading it just before we come on. David Moyes said that he'll be fit. He sort of tweaked his calf, and that's why they didn't bring him on Tuesday night. But he's trained, so he'll be available. But yeah, no, look, it's a massive blow losing Ogbonna because he hasn't missed a game this season. He's been the main man. It's just typical that I wear this jumper for the first time and he's out injured. So, I blame Nicky for that, for dropping it off late.
I mean, to be fair, I thought Diop done okay the other night when he come on before he had to go off. I think we lose him for 2 games, didn't we? For concussion reasons.
No, I think he's available. I think he's available.
I thought it was a rule that they had to miss the next game or something.
No, I was reading it. Diop should be available.
Okay,
I think they just took him off precautionary. You know,
I think he'll learn a lot from Dawson. I think Dawson's a good leader, a good director of the defence from what I've seen of him so far, and I think he'll learn a lot. He was doing fine under with him before he had to go off as well, but it was inevitable at some point we was going to pick up injuries. It's really tough because, you know, I was devastated on Saturday, and it wasn't because we'd lost a game to Man United. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. You know, it's not that I'm entitled or I think we should be winning them games. You know, we had every right to lose them games. But the most disappointing and frustrating thing is when you see something coming from a mile off, and you know you can prevent these things, and you don't. And you know it's
slipping there like a little fox in the box at the bottom now.
And that's what's the most frustrating thing is. And like what? You can say, I know you were saying to me the other night, right, that, you know, with the Yarmolenko thing, Yarmolenko, I mean, he just didn't look, you know, I don't know whether he was injured before the game or what, but he didn't look up to it. You lose Antonio.
I'll be totally honest with you, mate. I don't like seeing players injured but Yarmolenko for me doesn't really bother me as much as Ogbonna does, because I think going forward we've got attacking threat that's good enough. With Ogbonna at the back, he's our best centre back, he's our best defender, so he's a massive loss.
No, yeah, he is a massive loss, but I think we can cope without him because our defensively we've been brilliant. But what I'm saying is you know, when you're looking for a goal and there's literally nothing to turn to, nothing on the bench. That's what disappoints me most, because it just seems that they sacrifice season after season after season for what? To save money that you know they're not supposed to be getting their hands on. It's not their money, it's club money. I just don't understand it, right?
The thing is, there was a big massive meltdown on Twitter, and I had to unfollow a lot of accounts the other night, because when you look at it this way, we've lost 2 games since Christmas. We lost to Liverpool, champions of England, and we've lost to Man United in extra time in the FA Cup at Old Trafford. We're 6th in the league. The way I look at it is, all right, we seem to be backing off against these teams and giving them too much respect. But the difference this season is that we are beating the teams around us, the teams that we should be beating.
But my concern is, Ryan, that we've just seen a glimpse of what happens when we lose these players. Yarmolenko's gone now, so that's our backup plan. As bad as it was, that's our backup plan gone. Are we forcing Antonio back because we've got nothing else?
We lose Yarmolenko from the other night, but we gain Jesse Lingard because he's available now. So Jesse Lingard might.
The position is the striker, isn't it? It's the striker. That's where Yarmolenko was. Yeah. That's why we didn't buy a striker, because they thought we had Yarmolenko. We've lost him now. That's our backup plan. Is Antonio fit? Is he fit?
He's back. He's got a late fitness test. You know, he probably won't start against Sheffield United, but if he's on the bench, that's good enough.
I don't think he's fit since he came back the last time. He hasn't looked fit. I mean, what do you think?
Moisey said that he's back training on grass, so that tells me he's not fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what
it was just the way the game went. Sorry, Dan. It was just the way the game went. Just gives you a glimpse in how light we are. You know, we've been lucky. Yeah. So far.
Oh yeah, we know how light we are. There's no denying that. Of course we do, but it is where it is. We can't do nothing now unless we bring someone in on a free transfer who's out of contract. There's nothing we can do.
We had a month to do something and we didn't. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. They just sacrifice seasons, you know, just to save money. They should be buying the players.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's
about
everyone's giving up on the season.
They should have forced him to have someone.
But I feel like everyone's giving up on the season now just because we got knocked out of the cup. Ain't like we ain't done it for the last 41 years, been knocked out of the cup. It is what it is. You know? We're still in a good position.
Chance we've had in a long time. That's what I'm saying. You can keep on saying it is what it is, but it wasn't, because we could have bought someone.
Yeah, we could have bought someone, but we didn't buy someone. So you have to get on with it, unfortunately. That is where that's what I keep saying.
Yeah,
I know we should have bought someone. I know we should have bought someone. You know we should have bought one. Everyone knows we should have bought someone, but we didn't. But what can we do now? We can't buy no one unless we get someone in on a free. But
I'm not complaining about the fact that we're not doing anything. But what I'm saying is, we keep on fucking shrugging our shoulders and not saying anything year after year after year, saying, "Oh, let's wait to the summer." What for? They won't do anything.
Yeah, but you're saying that, but we don't. The fans don't sign the players, do you? Do we? So we can't do nothing. No. We can't sign it. It's not that I haven't signed the players. You haven't signed the players. It's the board. And if it's true what David Moyes is saying, that the target he wanted is not available to the summer, which going on by it is Danny Ings and this Brentford striker Tony, then we're not getting relegated. I'm happy to wait if we're going to bring two quality players in like that. Yes, we should have got someone in. I agree. Because we knew this. We've been lucky with injuries so far this season. But we've picked up a couple of injuries, and now it just seems like everyone's sort of giving up on the season when we've still got enough quality in that team, in that squad, to still have a good second half of the season and hopefully finish as high as we can.
Yeah, I think it's right to, call out because obviously that's the thing. Like you said, obviously, to a degree, yeah, we got to get on with it. But at the same time, that's what this channel is about. That's what, a lot of channels are about. You give your opinion and you say your thoughts. And obviously, some of us think that it was, or we all think
it's the same opinions week in, week out since the window shut.
It's the same issue.
Yeah, but it's the same issue, but there's nothing you can do about it. We was having the same issue all through the transfer window and nothing happened. I understand. Listen, I'm not sitting here saying I'm happy that we haven't signed a striker. Oh God, I wish we'd have signed 2 or 3. But it's just what's happened. And
you mentioned about the Ings. Couldn't we have got a cheap player in or a loan in, and then still got an Ings or whatever in the summer? Why?
I still feel the money was there. I think David Moyes had room 30 million to spend, and I think Villa said to Brentford, "Here's 30 million." They would have took it for that for Tony. Southampton might have took it for Ings because he runs out of contract in 18 months. So I just don't want it to. It's been a good first half of the season. Going out of the cup was, it was unfortunate, and we could have done better.
Right. The thing is, mate, I just don't know when you keep on saying it's the same thing. I don't know when you can say something, because when we're in the transfer window and you're saying you need to fucking sign someone, people are saying wait to the end. Then you wait to the end, and we get no one, and then you go, what can you do now? You might as well shut up.
But as I said, it's not our money. We're not buying the players, is it? We don't sit here. It's not Championship Manager. We can't just go and sign the players for the club. The club have to do it. We can sit on here. Gio can sit on Hammers Chat. Luke can sit on Free Hammers. They can all sit here and say the same thing, but the club ain't listening to us. Fans on forums and social media can sit there and say, we need this, we need that. At the end of the day, it comes down to the 2 people at the top that buy the players and manager. So
I think they listen to us a bit more than you would think, mate.
But
I'm not saying it's going to force them to go out, but what it does do, mate, is it forces people to have a look at why we're so, if we keep on shutting up, then no one's going to know the problem. That's why we get called Wallies. You're getting mixed up there. I'm not saying that the club don't listen to us, because they do, but they don't listen to us about transfers. And that for a fact, because we've been in the meetings. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, let's go and sign a striker because Nicky Hawkins don't like Haller and we better get someone else in. I bet that wasn't mentioned in meetings. It is what it is, but
it's an opinion-based show, isn't it? Like, we've got to, we just talk about West Ham news and West Ham, just what we think about West Ham, the goings on of West Ham. That's why we do it. That's what the show's about. So
that's what I'm doing.
I know that. But what I'm saying is, when Nicky's saying we should have bought a player, why can't he say we should have bought a player? Because that's what.
Yeah, but I was saying that all through January. I was saying that. I was confident we was going to get a striker, but we didn't. So I don't really know what your point was.
No, because think about it. Because anytime, say we lose a game and you see all these injuries bear out, and then say we go to Sheffield United, we ain't got Antonio, we ain't got Diop, we ain't got this player, that player. And then you look at, okay, why did we lose the game? Let's talk about it. Well, if we'd had Antonio fit, or if we'd had a striker, you analyse the reasons why we lost the game.
We analysing why we lost to United.
Well, you talk about the United.
No, you analyse why we lost to United. It had nothing to do with the fact that it was Yarmolenko playing. It was the fact that we sat back far too early and we were too negative.
But you think about Antonio was a big miss.
Yeah, but Antonio's a big miss. But let's be honest, we played without Antonio before. Like Ryan's, one thing I will say, we have had a good season, and we should have shot. We all know, every single West Ham fan knows, apart from the ones that are arse lickers to the board, knows we should have signed a striker. We haven't signed a striker.
The thing is, maybe fans shouldn't have pounded Haller at the club before we got a striker.
But that's it. But that's the thing. Haller wanted to go early doors before
Haller was already gone.
But that's it. But that's the thing, right? But the thing is,
but no one knew that.
We've now got to adapt our game plan and the way we set up to suit the players that we've got at the moment. Now, as much as Ogbonna didn't do nothing against United, the kids learned a lesson. And you see from the positive message he's put out on social media saying, he's going to learn from it, he's going to try to improve.
One thing I'll say about Odi Becco is, he's got a good attitude. I remember being at Newcastle away when we lost 3-0 and Declan Rice got taken off at half time. That could have dented his confidence. Exactly. But it didn't. Look at him now. Reece Oxford, when he got taken off against Leicester, he didn't have the attitude of Declan Rice, and that's why he's not in the Premier League anymore.
This kid seems to have the right attitude. And the thing is, look, it's not great. We're going to put pressure on a young kid like this. We've got players that can play a sort of false nine, whatever you want to call it. But the board have let us get into this situation. We all know that. This is why every single one of us sitting on this channel, and probably every single person in our chat who's watching this video tonight, want them two geezers gone. Right, at the end of the day, they've let us get into this situation again. We said that this is a season we should push for the FA Cup because it's anybody's season this season. Right, we didn't. I blame Moyes because he was far too negative from the outset at the start. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we had Yarmolenko up front, or even if Antonio was up front, we still would have played the same system and the same defensive mentality in that first half. Right? We are relying so heavily on, at the moment, because of our lack of striking options, scoring from set pieces. And teams are slowly working us out. That's why we're not scoring as many goals of late. And the problem is now, as I said, we have got to adapt. Either we say to Becco, look, you had the chance against United, you've got to learn, but you need to play this weekend and we're going to put a bit of faith in you. Or you stick him on the bench and you sit there and say to Bowen, Benrahma, Fornells and
Lingard,
right, interchange. 4 years interchange. You can all play in all across that attacking four in the single striker or the three players playing behind him. Interlink, mix it out a bit, like we did when Ravel Morrison was with us when we beat Spurs that time. For this one-off, we can get away with it, but it's not ideal going into the remainder of the season.
I think the thing that comes out of this whole thing, right, is that it just shows that these two chairmen are done with this club. They don't want it to go anywhere. They don't want it. They don't want to spend the money to do it. They don't want to advance it because since we've moved from the Olympic Stadium, the only excuses we've read is that we can't buy. We don't know what's going to be happening in the future. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. We might be in the Championship. We won't have the money. Blah 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 blah. That's not the case this season. So you've got the two polar opposite situations there. Yeah, the complete opposite situations, right? Doing so well that we could actually break ourselves into the Champions League. They obviously don't want it because they haven't spent the money and they haven't gone out and found a replacement. We haven't got a centre forward. No matter how much you rate Antonio or whatever, there isn't a centre forward at the club. And then there's not one senior centre forward, right? Hold on. But so the polar opposite is we're doing so well. We're going to go down. We can't spend any money. We don't know where we're going to be. And the other situation is we're doing so well that we can get to the point where we can get into Europe. They haven't done.
Jarrod Bowen's a centre forward, but we've just been playing him out of position. I would like to see him because I think he's been made a scapegoat. He's the most sub player in the Premier League. Every time, how can that boy have a bit of confidence? Because he must think every time he gets to 50, 60 minutes, as soon as he sees someone warming up, his head goes down. He knows he's coming off. Give him a chance up front now. You know, Yarmolenko's out. Yarmolenko the other day, as I said, he was running around the pitch like he was carrying a wardrobe on his back. You know, he don't know what he's doing. You know, I do like Yarmolenko, but I just don't think he's a striker.
No,
Antonio obviously is our main striker at the moment, but I'd give Bowen a chance up top just to see what he can do because he's done it for Hull.
Yeah, but the problem is now it's a case of that we've got to do that. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem. And I don't think it's so much that they don't want to spend the money now. Them two don't really want us getting in the Champions League or getting into Europe. Because the simple reason is if that happens, they've then got to spend even more money in the summer. So by scrimping and saving now and not signing the striker that we need, they're preying on the fact that we don't qualify for Europe.
Yeah. And what was happening a couple of weeks ago on a certain website? They was lauding up the fact that Moyes wasn't going to go for Europe and people was laughing at them. It's just proven the fact that they don't want to do it. What do they want to do? They don't want to go down. They don't want to go up. So what do? We spend languishing in the middle, paying our money to watch them not do nothing.
So the ball don't want European football. That's fair enough. But David Moyes ain't going to go out not to win games. The players are definitely not going to go on there and throw games. So if we keep winning games, they've got no choice to go in Europe.
And that's the thing. This is Moyes' chance and the players' chance to force their hand. Do you know what I mean? Because like you said, you don't walk onto a football pitch wanting to lose a game.
No one players throw games. Like right? No one walks on that pitch and wants to lose.
Yeah,
you know.
And that's the thing. It's time now that the manager and the players started forcing their hand. You know, Moyes got dealt a bad deal. At the end of the day, as we know, Sullivan's previous, he threw Moyes under the bus at any given opportunity. Oh, I offered him the money. Moyes has got his plan of what he wants to do. We know from history with Sullivan that Sullivan will give you, other managers have got on record who said it, he'll give you players that he wants. Moyes may have been offered a £30 million striker that doesn't fit what he wants. So why is Moyes going to say, well, yeah, I'll have him? Moyes would rather have a £30 million striker.
But what I don't get is he wanted Josh King, right, last summer. We kept hearing that Moyes wanted Josh King, and it was 20 million they wanted, right? We didn't get him in the summer, and we were saying we're going to wait for January. But
January. Did David Moyes actually want him, or was that David Sullivan that wanted him? Because I've never actually. I think if David Moyes really wanted him, there was an opportunity to get him in January for $5 million. I think he would have got him, but maybe he's not the sort of player he wants.
But if you think about it, because Everton have got him for $5 million on a short-term deal till the end of the season, surely that would have suited us to have, knowing that at the time in January, even when Antonio was playing, he clearly wasn't fully fit. We just sold at Haller. That could $5 million till the end of the season, just to keep that European challenge ticking, would have been a no-brainer, surely.
Yeah, I agree. I championed to get Josh King at West Ham. You know, there was some fans out there that didn't want him. I thought he would have been a good option to have to come off the bench.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it, because obviously there was I said, and Nicky said, he's not the answer, Josh King, and I still don't think he was the answer as the main man, because that's what we was looking at. When we was looking
I don't think he was the long-term answer. I don't think he was the long-term answer. I think he was the short-term answer to have as a backup for Antonio if he got injured.
Yeah, $5 million. I would easily have gone for that any day of the week. I mean, I don't understand.
What I did say is he wasn't the answer at the money they was asking at the time. For someone 6 months less in the contract with the amount of money that he was purported. I said he wasn't the answer for that. But I like Josh King. I thought Josh King would have fitted okay.
If it was till the end of the season, though, who would you rather chuck $5 million at? Diego Costa or Josh King?
Diego Costa.
Personally, Josh King, because I'm worried about Diego Costa's. Apparently, he's got a serious injury, leg injury or something.
Oh, well, that's all right. It fit in well at West Ham.
yeah, he's got no ligaments and he's right dick.
Player quality, you want Costa all day long, but you know, if he is injured, then maybe we should have gone for Josh.
And with VAR, he would not be, not to go down too well in this league with VAR.
But that's the thing. The problem is that King would have been the one to bring in, because he would have said, right, look, you're playing if Antonio gets injured, or not if, when Antonio gets, he's gone to Everton. He's only going to play if they don't play Calvert-Lewin. Let's be honest.
Anyway, Scott, breaking news. Gio's dipped into his pocket and give us $4.99 for some biscuits. Cheers, Gio.
Cheers, Gio, and cheers, Andrew, as well. Was the other one. He paid $25.
Let's take some comments. James Gaines, Baldies versus Harry's round 3, ding ding dong. Jack Hatcher says, if Antonio
half and half, really, isn't he?
If Antonio can't start next Monday, then Bowen should go up top for me. I think Ryan said that earlier. Make Haller suit our game rather than letting go early. You can't. How can you do that? D. Guffler says, how many seasons do we have to go through this? Never buy players we need. We need to go through it until they leave, mate, unfortunately. Miss Hammerett says they are liars and corrupt. Tom D says some of the owners nowadays are unbelievable. If Liverpool never spent any money with the worst injury list ever, what chance have we got with a gruesome threesome at the helm? Raymond Rosita says it's a joke. GSB out. Ollie PRJ says, correct, Scott. I agree. Haller didn't get handed out. It was a bad deal. I think everyone got to know that, including Haller himself. Even with Antonio, we would have lost the game, in my opinion, says Mike WHU. Could be. If players aren't available for Moyes to get who he wants, it's better to wait. Otherwise, we'll be in another Haller situation. We've got good of a short-term, long, or a free agent buy, but Moyes must decide. Listen, I agree that, you can't just chuck. What I'm saying is you can't just chuck someone on him that he doesn't want. This is what I would say, right? But at this very minute, we needed a backup. Yeah,
I agree. I respect David Moyes in that sense, that he's not like a Sam Allardyce or a Bilic who's just going to take anything that's chucked at him. If he doesn't want them, then fair play to him. But listen, we all know it. We did need someone in, and there is still, a possibility that we might maybe get someone in on a free. But I think, as Gio said on his channel the other day, I don't think they will, because they're admitting defeat. They're admitting that we didn't need a striker, and then they go out and get someone on a free. But then it's typical. That's a typical David Sullivan signing it, someone out of contract. Yeah. But listen, if anyone can come in and help this team out for the last 15, 16 games of the season and gets us into Europe, because let's be honest, any one of us now will settle. We at the beginning of the season, if we'd have said we're going to finish 10th, everyone would have took that. But the position we're in now, if we finish 10th, I'd be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sebastian Haller, right? Because I just want to say, I still do not understand the wisdom of selling him without someone lined up. Now, Nicky will say, I'd rather have no striker than Haller and this, that, and the other. But I think it was so reckless to let him go, because you look at it. Look, as someone who backed him, I think he didn't fit in our team. I don't think he had a future in our team, right? However, I would rather have Sebastian Haller than Yarmolenko there, who's really not fit. I'd rather have Sebastian Haller than no striker, because the thing is, even when Sebastian Haller, who scored 7 goals this season, right, up until January,
he banged the couple against fucking Doncaster and shit in the cup. He scored 2 in the league.
He scored 2 in the league. I'm sure he scored 3 in the league, and either way, right? He scored goals for us this season, right? Even when he didn't score goals, when he was up front, we were still winning games. Now, I'm not saying we were winning because of Haller, but he gave us a focal point up top, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Haller would be, like, if we had Haller now, like, look, he was frustrating to watch sometimes. I know that he was very frustrating, but he was an option to bring on or to have, I agree that, we should have had someone lined up to come in straight away to replace him. I would, if he was that desperate to get out of the club, I would have made him wait until at least the end of January to see if we could have done something. We shouldn't have released him as soon as we did. But look,
there was no stories about him trying to get out, trying to down tools and doing an out of it or anything like that. Like, I don't blame him for
but that geezer already had his fucking. Don't worry about that. 1st of January, that geezer had his fucking suitcases in Holland. Don't worry about that.
He ain't going anywhere.
Fucking canal. Don't worry about that, mate.
He ain't going nowhere unless we sell him. He ain't going nowhere unless we sell him. So what we should have had, if we could have had a deal in principle with Ajax, right, and say, look, we're happy to sell you the player. We need to get someone in first, right? Let's have it agree. If we don't get anyone in, we ain't selling you the guy. We'll come back to it in the summer. Now, a lot of people approach it as if like, well, it's 20 million. We couldn't turn it down. I guarantee you, summer comes, we would have got money for him in the summer. He is smashing it at Ajax. He is smashing it. Do you don't think that the manager didn't see that and would have wanted to come back for him in the summer? They would have.
The one thing keeping hold of Haller till the end of January would have benefited us is we wouldn't have rushed Antonio back.
Do you know what, Dan?
Yeah.
I guarantee one thing about Haller, though. He won't be playing in Europa League.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. They think they didn't register him.
Yeah,
the
that's the problem. Because we got rid of Valera so early in the January transfer window, like we did, we had to rush Antonio back. And we all know he ain't looked fit. And that's the one thing that we would have benefited from, is keeping him there for another couple of weeks. Even if we got to the midway through January, it would have given Antonio that much time to get himself a bit fitter and then strengthen them hamstrings a bit more.
Surely, though, like Ajax must have a player that ain't playing that can play out front that we could have took on loan.
Yeah, I was thinking that
like
the
that.
other day. You know, we could have
We
had a
could
little
say
something.
like, oh, here you go. Is Haller, now give us someone. I don't even know who plays for Ajax no more. I don't really concentrate on Dutch football, if I'm honest. And to say that I know he scored 2 goals the other night in the cup.
Yeah.
And he is doing well out there. And look, I never want a player to sort of leave the club, and I'd never wish them bad if they leave on good terms. And as you said, Haller never looked like the sort of player. I know he come across as stroppy and that, but I think that was just the way he was. But I don't wish him bad. So, but yeah, it's
The thing is, the Dutch league is a funny league. You've seen players come over here before from that league and do really well. And you look at players like Van der Beek, who plays for United. You know, he can't cut it at the moment.
good player. Good player. Look, he's not getting a chance.
He can't seem to cut it for United. And the thing for me with Haller is, you look. This is what I go back to, the attitude of the manager, how he sits out his stall. You look at when we played United early in the season. All right, you can say it was early in the season. United weren't on form and all that. We should have been 5-0 up at half time. We created that many chances. We created 1 chance in the first half against them in the cup. You know, and that's the deal. If Haller's playing, it gives you a bit more than what you saw from Yarmolenko. And look, listen, Yarmolenko, he's getting on. For me now, he seems more of an impact sub than he does a starter.
Yeah. He's so much better as an impact.
As I've said many times, he plays that.
Every time someone says Haller, I just look at Nicky and he gets redder and redder.
The thing is, I wish the boy good luck. I never think he fitted our system. He was bought under false pretenses.
That's the thing, though, Nick. We see when you looked at Haller when we signed him, you know, he had his good goal scoring record in Germany, and you thought, you know what, he's got the look of a Premier League player, but sometimes it just doesn't work for him. And we went out and spent, it was our record signing. So sometimes, you know, we can say we want the ball to spend 30-40 million on a striker, but sometimes it doesn't work. So it's unfortunately it didn't work for him. When we signed him, I was quite excited, especially in his first few games for us.
Yeah,
I thought he was really going to fit in well.
I think a lot of it as well, right, come down to when Moyes come. I think a lot of his attitude, and you look back at the days when he was here. You know, I wasn't his biggest fan, but obviously I don't really blame him, because he wasn't getting opportunities. He wasn't getting played until he was absolutely, absolutely needed to play. And he become disillusioned with life here. And you know, when that fucking January transfer window come, as I said, he already had his fucking bags there. He'd already moved his stuff over there. There's no fucking doubt about it. And the club wanted him to go, and he wanted him to go. It was the best deal for everybody, because I honestly believe, with the attitude I could see from him, and I'm not saying I completely blame him. I'm not saying I completely blame him at all, because I don't think he was ever given the tools to succeed here, which is unfortunate. But his attitude was becoming stinking. He was becoming disillusioned with life. He didn't like being here. You could tell it by his body language. People could say, yeah, he was a moody character.
Body language expert and a fucking psychologist.
Yeah, you don't have to be an expert to see he was a miserable cunt, regardless of what it is. No, I'm sorry.
One thing I would say about Haller, he never refused to play or train. When he was given his chance, you know, Antonio, the way we play 1 up front. When Antonio was in that form, you couldn't put Haller in the team, you know. But when Haller played, you know, he couldn't do Antonio's job. So when he played, we had to suit him instead of him trying to suit our system at the time, if you know what I mean. Like, we couldn't play him up top on his own, because he's not that sort of striker. Antonio can, because he can run and he can bully defenders. Haller's not that. That's not his game. So we should have maybe changed formation and switched it to suit him, but we didn't, and he's unfortunately gone.
That's the thing. He was brought in to play part of a front three, and when he turns up and then we just have a stinker of the season, the manager sort of gives up on us, and then we go to getting Moyes in, and you've got Moyes who's completely different. Moyes is about work rate. Moyes is about discipline, and you've got a striker that's been banging in goals for a German side playing 3 up front, and he comes in and he's asked to, right, well, we're playing 1 up top, you're on your own, you've got to roll the ball up, you've got to do this, you've got to work hard.
I'll be honest, just to change the subject from this waste of space, right? What if let's be theoretical, right? So transfer window's still open, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
No. Transfer window shut. We've got a couple of players now we can choose from. We can get Costa, we can get Sturridge. There's got to be some others that are out of contract. Who would you go?
The thing is, I've seen a lot of people say, and I've just seen it on there as well, that Diego Costa is apparently going to a side in Brazil. So, you know, we might as well rule him out. But Daniel Sturridge, for me, wouldn't be the worst option in the world on a pay-as-you-play. I think he'd be happy to come in and just get involved in football again because he's out of contract. Diafra Sakho's out of contract. You know, he's only 31. Would he come back? I don't know. Would he be the same sort of player when we had him? He was a goal scorer. There's other players out as well. So there's not many options, but there are options. So it's whether, you know, Daniel Sturridge for me wouldn't be the worst player to get in, if I'm honest, for the rest of the season.
Play short term. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Sturridge, I don't think it's a good fit for us. You know, his injury record from what I've heard.
Scott, all I've got to say to that is beggars can't be choosers.
Well, that's it. But the thing is, to be honest, I'd look at see his contract's expiring in the summer and try.
No, we're on about now.
No. What I would do,
you can't sign people now who are out of contract in the summer. It's players that are out of contract now.
No, what I'm saying is go to someone. If there's a player out there you want who's out of contract in the summer, go to the club, agree a deal with the club to cancel his contract, and then sign him on a free transfer.
I don't think you can do that.
You can do
Seems
that.
a bit dodgy,
Scott, have you been to David? Hang on. Scott's been going to the David Sullivan School of Excellence.
At the end of the day, that's all you get. That's all you get. That's the only way you're going to find the sort of player you want. You know, Sakho. We know what Sakho can do, but we know injury prone. Ed's not in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sturridge, the stuff I've heard about him, you know, his attitude towards the game and stuff like that.
Well, the last team he played for, he wore claret and blue, and he looked quite good in it. So, look, it's an option at the end of the day. You know, imagine the fairy tale if Diafra Sakho. I don't know how fit he's kept himself. He hasn't been playing for a little while. Imagine the fairy tale, him coming back, and you know, he scores us a few goals and gets us into Europe. You know, the way he left the club and he comes back, but. You know, someone just said it there about Bowen again. I can see that, and I'd like to see Bowen given a chance because, as I said earlier, I think he's being made a bit of a scapegoat. You know, he knows he's coming off. He's chucked out on the wing where he's done well. He works hard. We can't deny he worked hard. But the last few games, he's getting frustrated. We're getting frustrated with him, and it's leading to fans on social media slating him. You know, and. It's a vicious circle, but if David Moyes gives him the chance up front, at least 1 or 2 games, just to see what he can do, because he can't do any worse than Yarmolenko. He can't do any worse than Odie Becker the other night. And I'm not that's not a dig at the youngster, because I think he was chucked in at the deep end. And all right, it was harsh that David Moyes subbed him, but it was the right decision, I think, because he didn't have a touch. He had like 1 or 2 touches, and that's not his fault.
I thought
when he did get on the ball. He did link up a couple of times with players around him, and his movement was okay, but he just wasn't in the game. He didn't seem, you know, he basically marked, instead of a player marking him, he went and stood next to the player so that it was easy for the player to mark him. I think
as well, Scott, you got to remember he's 18 years old. He's coming on at Old Trafford. It's all overwhelming for him. He might have been a bit like, wow, you know what I mean? And he just couldn't get into the game. So maybe if he'd have started the game, it might have been a bit different. But
I think fans have been quite harsh on Odebeku, really, because I mean the thing is, especially I saw a lot of criticism call him lazy. You know, say he was nothing and this, that, and the other. Right? He came on when our backs were against the playing so defensive. No, yeah, you're right. He's so defensive, and he comes on. How many chances would we create? He had a great opportunity to score. He got himself in a really good position. All Fornals had to do was dink it over the top.
Dan, I remember,
he would have been through on goal.
I remember being at Newcastle away and we lost 3-0, and I won't name him, but I was with someone later that night in a pub, and they said to me that Declan Rice will not make it as a first-team player at West Ham.
Wow. Yeah, it's that's what I mean. It's but the thing is, a lot of it was fans were throwing Ogbonna under the bus. No, oh, was that you, Nick? The Declan Rice? Was that you?
No, Nicky don't go Newcastle.
That was no, but fans were throwing Ogbonna under the bus to defend David Moyes. So he was coming out. Defend David Moyes.
I agree with what Moyes did because the kid didn't do enough to stay on the pitch. We were chasing the game. To be honest, he made the sub too late. He's took a gamble on a youngster. He hasn't.
I disagree.
Scott, you know yourself, Scott, that David Moyes, that would have been. He knew that was a hard decision to make, but he had to make it.
I disagree with that. I disagree. Anyway, for one, right? Anyone that's sitting there saying that Ogbonna's lazy and all that, I'd like to see them get chucked on at Old Trafford and an FA Cup ties. Yeah, they fucking do for a start. Right, at 18 years old.
That to someone. They went, if that was me, I would have been running and giving everything on that pitch. I was like, if that was you, you'd be fucking
number two, there was enough defensive players on that pitch in an FA Cup tie to take one of them off. There is no way because you always listen, he's the only striker we've got. He may have been terrible. He may have been
Do you think maybe he was thinking like David Moyes had in his mind about penalties? Because
I think that's so stupid.
I would have took Noble off a lot earlier, but maybe he's thinking if this goes to penalties, Noble's a good penalty taker.
Right, he could have took Ben Johnson off. He could have took Ryan Fredericks off.
Ben Johnson was one of our best players.
He was our best player.
Ben Johnson was one of our best players.
You're going for the game. You could have took Cresswell off. No, you don't take the striker off because regardless of how good a game he's having or how bad a game he's having.
You know what he should have done, Nick? Do you know what he should have done? He should have said, right, son, you want to prove yourself? He should have took Fabianski off and put him in goal.
Listen, you leave the striker on because if the ball falls in the box, I want a fucking centre forward. I agree. I think he should have stayed on, but I can see what Moyes done, and it's not going to affect the kid because I see the kid's attitude. I'd have rather have lost 3-0, 4-0. I
see the kid's attitude when he posted on his social media, and that is the attitude I want to see. He said he admitted himself that. You know, it wasn't his best game. He felt let down. He felt he let his teammates down. But he will now prove himself, you know. And David Moyes must think a lot of him because he's involved in a few match day squads lately. So, he ain't got no fucking choice, really. But, do you know what? I like the kid. I like his attitude, and I think he's got a big future.
Yeah, he was just brought on and expected to go and win the game on his own because we was playing so fucking deep. And
you know what? I know what Scott was thinking. Only if we had Elliot Lee.
The argument, I have to just say that the penalties thing, because I've seen so many people, you know, oh no, we need Noble to get to penalties. We have to get to penalties first. We need a chance to get to penalties. Having Mark Noble play 100, really, he shouldn't have started Noble. He should have kept him on the bench and potentially brought him on as a substitution later on in the game.
Yeah, but I don't think he had a bad game.
Mark Noble gave everything in that game. He played his up, but he didn't give us what we need. Going forward, he slowed the game down. He passed. He every time we would attack, he would stop, pass it to the side or the back, right? For that instance, when we was trying to attack, he was hindering the attack. He worked his arse off, Mark Noble. But in that instance, especially when we go 1-0 down, to keep him on the pitch is absolute madness. Hoping you can nick an equaliser and get to penalties. Mark Noble is just one penalty. Right, we've still got to get however many other penalties in the back of the net. I'd rather take him off and give someone else a chance to score the penalty, as long as it means we give us a better chance to get to penalties.
You got to remember though, we had 1, 2, 3 forced substitutions in that game, and 3 of them was defenders.
But he could have, as soon as we went one down, he could have easily took Noble off and brought Lanzini on.
I think that Lanzini should have come on a lot earlier. I think Ben Rama should have come on a lot earlier. I think they should have come on at the beginning of the second half, both of them, because when they come on in extra time, I know that Ben Rama come on in normal time, but it was towards the end. But them two were linking up, and you know we had that chance right at the end. You know we could have nicked the game, and it's one of them. It's
Listen, I still think if 4-0 puts on the Beckham through instead of going to Declan Rice, we have a chance.
And that comes down to trust, because Fornells has done that a lot this season. And I'm not one, I don't like criticising Fornells because I like his work rate, but sometimes his decision making is poor. And it proved it on Tuesday night, whenever it was, when you're right, he could have put Odebeku through. You know, he's a youngster, Old Trafford. Go on, here's your chance. Have one chance. If you miss it, you miss it. But your confidence, you know, you're going to get a strike on goal or hit the post or give the keeper something to do. But he didn't. He went out for Bowen, who was like sort of wide out on the left.
I thought it was Rice. It was Rice out on the left.
It might have been Rice. Yeah, sorry, mate. It might have been Rice.
The thing is, that's the problem with the only downside to Fornells and Bowen this season has been their decision making at key moments. Everything else they've done has been spot on. Or maybe Fornells' his finishing lets him down a little bit, but that last minute decision making, that ball in the final third, you know, them two both let themselves down in that point.
I thought that's the thing. That was the big thing that let Fornells down, was his decision making. I didn't think he was too bad otherwise. I thought he linked up well and, you know, he got into good positions and made things happen. It was that final decision that really let him down. And like you said, I like him.
Fornells, that's something he's got to work on. Is just his final decision making. I think once he gets that right, because we've seen glimpses this season that he is a talent. You know, he can change games. We've seen that. But it's just his final decision making. Same as Bowen. Bowen will work for the team for 90 minutes if he ain't taken off. But he will work his arse off. But sometimes his final decision making, he'll take one touch too much. You know, once they get that out of their game, they'll go to the next level. And I don't mean playing up for a top four. I mean for West Ham, they'll be first name on the team sheets week in, week out. They'll be getting regular goals and assists.
I can't believe some of the people that said shit, to be honest.
Let's take some comments. SGM, just before this message come up, said he donated $4.99. Sorry, it isn't enough. Don't ever apologise for giving us money. How do I get a pint glass? Contact me privately. I'll send you one. Elliot Watson, the guy that I spoke about at the beginning of the show, he donated £5 and said, "Thank you for that, Nick. Sorry I'm late. Would have meant a lot to the family." You could have just texted me this, mate. I would have read it out. Thoughts on West Ham being bookies' favourites to sign Danny Ings coming your hands? We'll speak about that in a second. Let's take some more comments about what we've just been talking about. The table team said they say players who go back on their previous clubs don't work out. Look at Bell. I
said that. I said about Gareth Bell when he signed. Flop.
This guy's talking to a guy called Peach. Hello, Peach. He's not been playing that well. End of. I don't know who he's talking about there. I think we've gone a bit too far forward. Let's go back.
But yeah, do you know what that is? I just want to put that ball greedy. But Bowen, that is some of the problem with Bowen. He does come across a bit greedy sometimes. He can hold on to the ball when he should pass.
He just doesn't get his head up quick enough. That's the only that's what I said. I think that's what it is when his decision making. Don't get his head up quick enough.
I think with Bowen as well, it's frustration because you know I think he knows that he's always coming off, and he has to try to impress to stay on. And that's, if David Moyes just sort of said to him, "Look, don't worry about it. You know, just go out there, do what you do," because we've seen it. We've seen glimpses of Bowen, especially this season, that he can get assists, he can chip in with a couple of goals. You know, so I just feel sorry for him sometimes. I think I feel with some of the fan base as well, he's being made of a bit of a scapegoat.
Right, 5-month deal bringing back, says James Fever. Andrew McDonald says coming on at Old Trafford as an 18-year-old is like playing for your first show at Live Aid 85. Stephen Butler says Fornells isn't Premiership class. 6 times he's fluffed passes or chances put the striker for on goal. Not good enough, says Stephen Butler. Mark Brown says Moyes takes an age bedding in players from Championship, but Odebeku gets thrown in the deep end. West Ham online fan says you can't judge players on one game. Simple. Graham, I think he's talking about the Declan Rice thing. It was Graham, weren't it? Brian Cox says there's no chance of signing in anyone. We had the chance, but GS thought we were safe. They don't want European football. It costs them too much to have no ambition mid-table year after year. Every year will suit them. Abs the Dabs says you shattered the kid's confidence on his debut. Matt Powell says, where's Graham?
Graham's building an office. Graham's doing DIY tonight.
Miss Amrit says 100% green, Nicky. Thank
you. You put that one up.
Stevie Rice says bringing the kid on was desperate move, and so was subbing him off. We are in a desperate situation caused by GSB and partly Moyes. Moyes played for the draw from kick-off by starting Noble, said Hammers Mikey. I don't agree with that. I think he played as well as anyone on the pitch, Mark Noble, that day. Give Odebecker a start against the Tevez victims. It might be the right game for him to get off, to get a bit of his confidence. Noble can only take one penalty, he's not 5, says Stephen Butler.
Exactly.
Noble off, Lanzini on. I wish you'd have been making the subs on Saturday. Feisty Friday night Pint.
The thing is, though, if we'd have took Noble off, right, and we'd have gone to penalties and then missed, everyone would have been going, we should have kept Noble on. He's a penalty taker. So that's you can't win in that situation.
Not if we would have played better, him coming off and got the equaliser.
But Noble was one of our best players on the night. You can't deny that. So why take him off?
I don't listen. I think,
if anything, Noble had a better game than Declan Rice. So take Declan Rice off.
I don't think so. I don't think he did.
In the concept of it, you look at it, right? You look at Rice is there as a holding midfielder.
Raymond's just said that Noble had a poor game versus Man United. I don't know what Man United game he was watching. It must have been 2 seasons ago.
Noble didn't add much to. He didn't particularly add much to the game. He gave away a lot of fouls. He slowed the game down quite a bit.
Declan Rice gave away the ball that led to the goal, but you can't say nothing against Declan Rice.
No, you can. No, he was again. Listen, we done the watch along, and
I was saying no.
Well, I was criticising Declan Rice at the time, but at the same time, he also made some excellent tackles that got us out of trouble. But Noble, on the other hand,
to be fair, you didn't even have to take any of the midfielders off because you could have took one of the defenders off. We was going for the game.
No, you could have even took Souček off.
Yeah, but you can't take you couldn't take one of the defenders off because of the way we were set up. We were set up as a
top goal scorer. I wouldn't have took him off. I wouldn't have took Souček.
When you look at the way we set up in that second half with the 5 at the back, Johnson and Fredericks both had very, very good games. Right, Fredericks, I can see now playing a similar role to how Masuaku was playing in front of Creswell. Fredericks has improved a lot over the last few games for me when he's played at 5 in the back. And that seems to be Moyes' preferred formation when we play against the bigger sides. And that's what we've got to start seeing. Johnson, come on, he was phenomenal. Johnson looks a completely different player playing in that left wing back position. So it's good to see from him. The problem is just that the rest of it. But touching on, you said about Bowen getting substituted a lot more. I think what it is with Bowen, changing the wings is an easy option for Moyes. That's why he does it.
Yeah. And that's why I feel that if Bowen was given a chance up front, it might be a different case because we all know Bowen can work hard. We know that. But you're right. It's an easy position to change because we've got so many options. We've got Jesse Lingard now that can play out there or can play in the middle. You've got Fornals. Yarmolenko's injured now, but you've got them options.
That's why he does it. It's because that's the easy substitution. The easy substitution. You look at because you're not changing too much. You take one of your centre midfielders off, or your centre halves off, or your right back, or your left back, wherever we're playing. That can have a key effect. Taking off a winger sometimes it's an easy sub. A winger can take 5-10 minutes to get into a game, whereas players in the centre they can't. They've got to be on it from the start.
I want to clear this up, right? Just be clear, because he says, Dan, why do you not like Noble? Listen, I'm one of Noble's biggest defenders, and I have been for years. When people have been saying season after season, his legs have gone, we need to get him off, we need to get him out, I've been saying he still has something to offer this club. I'm one of his biggest supporters. The only thing I'm saying about Noble in this game is I didn't see the point in, and this is Noble has come out and he's been effectively saying it himself, that he's 33 years old now, and we've had him playing 120 minutes of football. And there is a place for Mark Noble, I feel, in this squad. But at the time, and listen, it's either way you look at it, whether he comes on later on or he comes on earlier on to settle things down and to help in that midfield and frustrate him. But as the game goes on and we're trying to chase and get a goal, at that time, when we're going on the attack, he's slowing it down. So tactically, I'm saying it didn't make sense.
Whoa. Let's get this fucking perfectly right. It's an FA. This is not a league game. It's an FA Cup game. You need a goal, right? Noble can still fucking ping one He's fucking proven over the last couple of seasons he can ping one every now and then, right? So the ball keeps dropping
every now and then, Nick.
Yeah, but that's every now and then. It's every now and then more than, say, for instance, Soufal. It's every now and then, for instance, more than who was the other defender we had on the day? Dawson. It could have been any of them. Like you're thinking about it more. You're thinking about it more like, oh, he should be coming off it like for like. You're going for the game. Like even people saying like, oh, where would you fit them all in FA Cup games like that? You don't give a shit where they all fit in. You just fucking put them somewhere and hope you get a goal. You're not trying to out tactics. Trying to get a goal.
He said himself at this point, at this stage in his career, West Ham should not be relying on him. And I don't
think we're relying on him. I just think that at the end of the day, he's a football player. He's still a member of this squad, and if he gets chosen, he wants to play as long as he can. As you said, he's had a great career for West Ham, and he knows he's coming to an end. And that's the sad thing. He, as a football player, when you've been in around the first team since a youngster, and then all of a sudden your career's gone like that, a footballer's career is over so quick, and he knows his days are coming to an end. And he's coming to an end when this squad is starting to build something nice, and he's probably thinking, I'm not going to be a part of this squad in 2 years. So there's a part of him that's thinking he's quite sad about that. And what makes me when it comes to talking about Mark Noble with some of our fan base, I'll go Jose Mourinho. I prefer not to speak because if I say, I get in trouble because I think the way the disrespect that Mark Noble gets, whether people say his legs are gone, he's not good enough, you will never ever see a Mark Noble again for West Ham. And I'm talking about loyalty, a player that stays at this club for 15 years. He's been picked by every manager that's come in. Every manager that's come in has picked him. This season, he's been left out, and I've never seen Mark Noble kick up a fuss because he knows that when there's better players, as much as he wants to play, he knows that there's better players better than him that can take this team forward and achieve something. But he will always be in the background. Just because he's not doing it on the pitch, he's doing it in the dressing room. He's putting his arm around players and making them feel loved, and that's what a captain does. When people say, why is Declan Rice giving Mark Noble the armband, for fuck's sake? Because Declan Rice respects Mark Noble and he still knows that he's the captain. Yeah. Declan Rice will be a future West Ham captain. Don't get me wrong. He's our captain now. But when Mark Noble plays, he gives him the armband out of respect. And that's a lot of thing that our fans forget about. They're quick to just swipe someone like Mark Noble to the side, but they forget what he's done throughout his career for West Ham.
Yeah. To be clear, I'm not doing it. Be clear.
Side for some fucking two Bob geezers walked in the door for 5 minutes and they think he's the be all and end all. I don't like that. And I'm not tagging you off down about Noble and all of this sort of fucking thing. But like what I'm saying is there was nothing wrong with Mark Noble's performance. And I'll reiterate what I said before. I don't like Mark Noble being.
You were screaming. You were screaming during the game that he should come off. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about now, because you were saying the same as me. Now you're acting like, there was nothing wrong with him. You were saying the same as me. But you were saying the same as me. I'm not saying that he went out and put in a bad performance. He went out and worked his arse off.
No, I was saying to bring him off at 0-0.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So what are you
0-0? Yeah, bring him off. We're still going for the game. But at 1-0, bring someone else off. He don't need to come off.
No, all right, no. But what I'm saying is, but at the time when he brought on, we was talking about, all right, he could have brought off Lance. And I agree with you. You could have kept at that point. You could have kept Mark Noble on the pitch and brought off a defender. I agree. But what I'm saying is, it never should have got to that point, which is what you were saying at the same time. Now, what I'm saying is, I'm not slagging off Mark Noble by any means. I'm not saying he went out and didn't put in a performance or didn't work his arse off. What I'm saying is,
the reason. Dan, read the comment. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's why it's fucking no. The thing is, I don't want to see Mark Noble ever get the shit that Kevin Nolan got at this club, because at the same time, whatever happens, even if Mark Noble goes out there and he puts in the shittest performance you've ever seen, he is trying his hardest, and it's not his fault. It's the fucking manager. And the same way as Kevin Nolan should have never got any stick at this club, it should have been Big Sam. Mark Noble should never, ever get any shit. But it's okay to say, I think Mark Noble should have come off. I think Mark Noble probably shouldn't have played this game. That's not abusing Mark Noble. That's not disrespecting Mark Noble to say that. If you're saying that he's shit, he's useless, get him out, that's disrespect. What I'm saying is, I believe he had a role to play.
I don't think he should have started the game, but in hindsight, as the game went on, he did no worse than anyone else. At 0-0, I was saying get him off and get an attacking player on because I want to win the game. At 1-0, to take him off and then keep all the defenders, to keep the 5 at the back and take their own striker off, I think he's fucking craziness. I think he's mad.
We improved so much switching to the 5 at the back, right? Taking one of them back 5.
No, I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
I don't think we did. I don't think we was any different.
The first half, how can you sit there and say you don't think we were different in the second half from the first half? What game? The first half was diabolical. The second half, we were actually
a bit better than Ben Johnson.
We switched to a 5 at the back. I think that's because of the players that was on the pitch.
No, it's because we switched systems.
No, I don't think so.
You couldn't take one of the back 5 off to bring on Lanzini. You had to pick either Noble or Rice to bring on Lanzini.
No, bollocks. I'm not having that.
It doesn't work. We got the game because we were 5 at the back.
I think Fredericks and Johnson gave us a lot more pace because I said that starting 11 was one of the slowest starting 11s I've ever seen. But you could have brought off Creswell.
But then you're changing the 5 at the back again. So the
at the same time, you still have that pace.
But when you want a goal, mate, in an FA Cup game, if you have to go 2 at the back, you go 2 at the back.
Yeah, but then you still but the thing is, at the end of the day, it weren't, as I said, this is the thing. We didn't have a player to sit there and say, do you know what, chuck Diop up front. Let's go long. It's a Diop. It's how he wins it. We didn't have a fucking
yellow knocked off. Nicky, that's why.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We didn't have a player.
Don't be a prat, be a pat. Let's have some positivity in the room. Listen, fuck the FA Cup.
See you when I see you, I'm going to fight you.
Who?
You, Scott.
Who?
It's nice. I like it. It's a spicy Friday night pint. These are my favourite Friday night pints. A spicy Friday.
Scott? What's Scott done?
He told me to shush.
He'd flop you. He'd flop you all day long. He'd put you right on your ass and you'd be going, right, what's happening? And then Graham would put his arm around Scott and go, come, let's go. Let's get away from these mugs. Scott would be like that. I've come here for a fucking shootout.
this is the good thing with us, right? Is that we can sit here and have this discussion. We're mates. This is what it's all about.
Scott,
in the same room as you, Scott.
What channel do you see people arguing? Then some mug whips out a Pat Butcher mask. I'm going to get a Peggy Mitchell. I'm going to get a Neggy Peggy. I'm going to get a Tricky Ricky, and I'm going to get take a chill pill Phil. Oh, that's the new one.
Let's take some more comments because there's a lot of support for Scott. Look, Stevie Ray says Scott is bang on.
Yeah, go on, Scott. Knock him out.
Doorbell says stand your ground, Dan.
Stay your ground.
Miss Emirates says proper feisty.
Yeah,
David
shush, Nicky.
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up, Nick.
Friday night spice.
Wait, that could be the name of an Indian restaurant if we open one.
Friday night spice.
Friday night spice.
Oh shit! Someone's gonna nick that now.
Oh yeah, quick, Dan. Log on and do something.
James Games is telling me to shush. Dan's mum says everyone likes a bit of spice.
Spice.
Ian Wilkins says Scott, stop talking sense. Spot on. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I have to stop talking.
Back 5 thing, is that what they're agreeing with, Scott? The back 5 thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no one agrees with me. Everyone's stop the Don Colliers.
Just quickly, Nick. You had Jake's comment up there. He reached 1,000 subscribers on his channel the other day. You had it up.
Did I?
Yeah, West Ham unofficial.
Where's it gone?
I don't know. You just took it off.
I'll find it. Craig Iron Somerset.
Yeah, it's there.
Wait. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. What about this is why we love this show? Well done, mate.
Well done,
Jake. Someone said, when is Scott ever wrong? It's always spot on. What about Nordvite? Elliot Lee?
Nordvite got paid.
Diego Poyet.
Craig Iron Somerset says Nicky couldn't knock the froth off a cappuccino. Brandon George says positive Pat needs to ring the bell, boys. Ding ding.
Positive. Do you know what? I'm retiring positive Pat at the end of the season. She's a good old girl.
You need a delightful dot or something.
Oh, delicious dot.
Delicious dot.
I know that sounds like some sort of like EastEnders porno going on there. I don't want to see Dot on the game.
Hold on a minute. I'm making a comeback. Nicky is spot on.
Oh yeah, what's that? Your cousin?
On all counts.
Nicky's gonna text his family.
Look at Nicky making up fake accounts and writing his own messages.
He said, the guy said they couldn't knock the froth off a cappuccino. Said sorry.
At the end of the day, look, there's 4 of us here, and there's everyone in the chat. We've all got opinions, so there's no right or wrong opinion. It's all what we feel and what we think. But
opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one, and the thing is with opinions,
unless yours been sewn up,
and you can't be wrong. You can't be wrong. You know, because your opinion is your opinion, unless you're trying to say something factually wrong. But opinion, when it comes to this sort of thing, is your opinion. You know, someone can think someone's a brilliant player, someone can think someone's a terrible player.
Mate, I thought Gokantor was going to be the bollocks. Yeah,
absolutely. I love this sort of discussion, and everybody should have an opinion and not worry about expressing their opinion. Because your opinion is as important as anybody else's.
Unless your name's Jace, because he has the worst opinions I've ever seen. He said that the FA Cup is worthless and it's more important that West Ham make money.
Apparently, Scott's a cold goat.
He's a goat. He's a goat cold.
What did Jace say?
He said that the FA Cup is worthless and he would rather finish higher in the table because West Ham get more money. And I was going round in the table and I said,
"Please say, Dan, that is everything that is wrong with modern football and some modern football fans."
Man, do you know what? I don't want to burst your bubble here, but I was on TalkSport the other day, and I know you're the TalkSport man for this channel, but I was on with Durham and Ray Parler, and I said that I'd take, if you offered it to me now, like this was the other day before the cup game, I would take 4th from bottom to win the FA Cup. That's how much the FA Cup means to me as a fan, because like Wigan and Portsmouth, I know they've got relegated in that, but their fans will always have that day in their memories. You know, I haven't seen us ever win the FA Cup. You know, I know I look older, but I'm only 37 next month. You know, so send your cards to West Ham Fan TV. But no, look, I've never seen, and the FA Cup to me means everything. If I could just see us win one FA Cup in my lifetime, I'll die a happy man.
Yeah. That's what it's about. This is what we said. We said before, you know, you look at Mourinho. Mourinho knows how important it is to win a trophy. And that's what he tries. You know, you saw it when he went in at United. The first thing he done was make sure he won the Europa League. You win a trophy because at the start of the season, you're sitting there with that team photo. There's that trophy you won. There's that inspiration to go and win another one. Sitting there finishing, as Graham's favourite saying, isn't it? You can't put 5th or 4th in the trophy cabinet. And that's what it all boils down to.
No, but this is what I was trying to tell him to. I said, like, okay, so why do you want West Ham to make more money, right? And he wasn't quite. And he was like, so we can buy better players. Why do you want us to buy better players, right? And he wasn't grasping that the whole end goal is to win a trophy. I said that money is not going in your pocket. Why do you care how much money is in our pocket? The whole point, the whole purpose is to win a trophy. It was baffling me, right? And he has, honestly, some of his opinions are just mental. They are just mental.
I think he does it to wind you up, Dan, if I'm honest.
Maybe before we go to ask you anything, let me tell a little story about Jace, right? A couple of years ago, we was up for an award, and the award night was in Manchester. So Jace at the time was doing quite a bit of stuff with Dan, doing the FIFA show, right? So we'll go to the award.
Bring back the FIFA show.
Yeah, bring back the FIFA show, indeed. So he was doing a lot of stuff. Dan don't even play FIFA no more. He won't buy a copy of FIFA. He thinks it's so terrible.
Is that because what you told me the other month, that you're better than him and he's scared to play you?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So we all goes to like this award ceremony. It's at Old Trafford, like the ground Old Trafford, right? So we go to this award ceremony. Everyone's up for an award. We didn't win fuck all, but we won the drinking award. That's what I would say. Right.
I'll tell you what, though, Jace had a lovely suit on that night. We all looked very smart, but Jace was like,
we all went in
he
suit.
looked like a young Vince McMahon.
We worked out that we weren't going to win a fucking trophy. So what we done is we went down to the Budweiser stand downstairs and cleaned the whole fucking thing out, filled up our table and sat there and drunk the lot. And we wouldn't let anyone leave until they drunk the lot, right? So we all got a little bit drunk, yeah? A little bit. So we goes to this after party thing, this club, yeah? And like, all of a sudden, Jace disappears. I don't know where the fuck this guy's gone, right? So I goes to the dance floor. Now, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this guy, right? I don't know what was going on. But he literally zoned out. He couldn't hear a thing you were saying. Like, he was on the dance floor. He was just fucking busting move. There was people standing around him, watching him fucking bust moves because he didn't give a shit who was watching him. Nothing, right? He was just busting moves. I was going to him, Jason, are you all right? And he was just.
Can I just say, at that time, I was asleep on the settee.
Wine was gone. He drunk.
I passed out
on top of
this woman. Went up with him, right? She went up to him. She weren't too bad. She was all right actually, and she went up and tried to dance with him. Like, was dancing. He was just like hand in her face, like no, and then just carried on dancing. Like,
he started dancing and just shut her down, man. The geezer was like obsessed. I don't know what the fuck was going on. It was ridiculous.
He loves it. He loves the dance, but yeah, he does that routinely.
He's a good bloke. Have you sent him his Ogfather t-shirt or jumper yet?
I've got him here. I've got them all here. I've got yours here.
He's a good bloke, Jace.
He was well excited about that. Listen, we had our old Ogfather shirt, right? And I'm excited. He still rocks out the old. It's all faded and shit, like the original one for 5 years ago.
When Nicky sent me a message. Nicky sent me a message last week saying, "What size do you want?" And I thought he was like, I started sending him pictures of all jumpers and all that. He went, no, I mean the Ogfather jumper. I was like, oh, right. But yeah, that's nice hoodie. I like it.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Didn't we have a claret flower on it? Oh, it is claret. Is that claret or red? Yeah, it is. It looks red though, doesn't it?
Well, my one looks claret.
He should bring that film out, the Ogfather.
It's normal. The Ogfather.
Joe, we need to make it a mission to get him wearing one.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It ain't going to be much of a mission. Once you get him, you won't be able to get him out of it. It'd be a mission to get him out of it.
Oh, what about Ogbonna?
Oh, Ogbonna. Imagine Ogbonna didn't want to take the jumper off.
And never take this off.
If anyone could tell me where we can send a couple of t-shirts or jumpers or whatever to get it to Angelo Ogbonna or some of the players, let me know.
I think once things go back to normal, I think you just go down the training ground. You can hand it to them. It's difficult at the moment. You can't get nothing signed. You can't, as you know, the players are in a difficult situation as much as we are. So once things go back to normal, I think it'll be a lot easier. You can just say, "Here, Ogbonna, look, here's a t-shirt for you." Even get one signed, and we can give it away as a prize. That'd be good.
But if anyone knows him personally, just let us know. We'll get him one, and we get him wearing it. Ballers 35. Nicky to read it out. What? Can you shout my brother out?
My brother.
Anagers is close to 1K. No, I'm sorry, mate. Don't do shout outs.
What are you being horrible for?
You technically kind of done it there.
Put it back on.
No, I don't do shout outs. Well, I'm sorry,
yeah,
but I can't shout out Anaga's channel that's close to 1K and say, go and subscribe to it. I can't do it. Otherwise, I'll have to do it for everybody.
Yeah, but hang on. Yeah, but he took time to watch our show. And don't be horrible.
Right, what I'm saying is I can't shout out Anaga's YouTube channel and get him any more subscribers because if I'd done it for him, I'd have to do it for everybody. I can't do that. I can't shout out Anaga. Subscribe to Anaga. I can't say that.
And you wonder why you're the most hated.
All right, Scott, you take some comments, mate.
I'm sure Anaga will be appreciative.
I think we've shouted him out enough now.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, sorry. You want me to?
Anyway, I'll tell you what. A story that come up today, and I knew this was going to come up. Thomas Souček. Apparently, Man United are scouting him. They're looking to put a bid in the summer for him. We all knew it was going to happen. Thomas Souček. He's been an unbelievable find. One of the best players we've signed in the last 10, 15 years. I said the other week that it wouldn't surprise me that big European teams are watching him. So, yeah, it'd be disappointing to lose him. But, you know, he seems happy. He seems happy at the club. So, for us to keep players like Declan Rice, we have to keep players like Souček. Because people are talking about Souček, Soufal as well. I bet there's a lot of teams looking at him.
Yeah, the thing is that as I said this before, you look at Moyes when he was at Everton, there was players there that other teams wanted. He managed to keep hold of them. At the end of the day, so long as the team's performing well and the players are happy, we shouldn't be too worried about teams coming in. It's the ambition of what the club want to achieve.
The thing is, though, like with Thomas Souček, when he gets a club like Man United linked with him, wherever you think of Man United, they're still one of the biggest clubs in the world. For him as a player, it's got to turn your head a little bit. But when you look at it, you're settled at West Ham. He hasn't really played that much in front of the fans, a couple of games before lockdown. I think he's happy at West Ham, so I don't think he will leave in the summer unless a ridiculous bid comes in for him. I mean, if Man United come in and said 60, 70 million, of course the club are going to look at that. Of course they are, but I hope they don't. I hope we keep it.
But that's the thing, as I said, we have got to look now. We've got a good base of a team. We've got a decent team there. We've got a very decent level. We've got a few decent subs. We need to increase the squad size and increase the quality that we've got within the squad. Get a few younger, hungrier players in. But just match the ambition of what the players want. If we're playing well and the players are happy, you'll keep the players there.
Look how happy Declan Rice is at the moment.
Exactly.
If he sells the club, if he sees the club sell players like Souček, what's it say to a Declan Rice? So for me, every time I see Souček, he's got such a smile on his face. He loves life at West Ham. So there's no reason for him to leave. I'm not saying he shouldn't have ambition, but if West Ham was to sneak into Europe, I bet that's more than what he thought he was going to get when he signed for West Ham. When he signed for it, he was in a relegation battle.
I think if we was in a relegation battle, Rice would have gone in the summer. I think if we had a relegation battle this season, I wouldn't blame him. I think we would have probably.
That's the thing. You look at Souček. He seems settled there. He's playing well. They brought his best mate over to play alongside him. There's no, like you said, unless we literally fade off and really, really fade off. There's no reason why these players are going to leave because we're moving in the right direction. We've just got to keep progressing, keep stepping forward, and not do what we've done before and take a stride forward and then get to the end of the season and take two massive strides back. We've got to keep progressing. And if the players are enjoying football, they'll stick around.
When big clubs are linked with your players, you're doing something right, and they're doing something right. Declan Rice and Souček, and they're always going to get linked with clubs every transfer window. That's just part and parcel of football. But I've never seen Declan Rice come out and say he wants to leave the club or he's unhappy. He always looks like he's got a smile on his face. He's happy at West Ham. Souček. The thing is, with a player, if the club accept an offer, that's when you turn because you think, right, the club don't want me. So you never blame a player for leaving. If a player hands in a transfer request, that's a totally different story. But I've never, I think that, we're going to keep Declan Rice and Souček in the summer. I've got unless something ridiculous comes in, then I can't see us selling.
Speaking of the summer,
Sorry, one second. There's a lot of people saying here I've been baited. Wherever I have been baited, I've been baited, but it's sad, really, if that's the truth. The thing is, if we keep on going on like this, I'll have to turn the chat off and no one can get involved. So
just stay on your toes.
No, I won't read any more fucking chat out. So
I'll turn this car around and we'll go home.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take my ball and I'll piss off.
No, speaking of the summer, we have not. I need to look that back because I don't even know what the bait was. I didn't clock it. It didn't even register. I was like, so yeah, no idea there. But no, what was I saying? No, speaking of the summer, we didn't answer Nicky, his friend's question about Danny Ings potentially getting Danny Ings in the summer. What I think is, I've rated him, for a long, long time, and I'd be so surprised if we got him from Southampton.
The thing is, he's only got 18 months. He's only got 18 months left on his contract, and I think Southampton have already turned around and said that they're not going to improve his deal. So, as a footballer, when you look at it this way, is that he'll want to leave to get more money, which I've got no problem with, and Southampton will want to get more money for him now than if they kept him for another season. So West Ham could probably pick Danny Ings up for probably between 20 and 25 million from Southampton. And let me tell you something now, if Danny Ings signs for West Ham, Gio from Hammers Chat will be doing the conga around the whole of Scotland, down to London Stadium, back up to Scotland, because I know that he has been a massive fan of Danny Ings. And, you know, I was surprised when I read that Danny Ings is only 28, you know, so he's still got time on his side to make that one last move, you know, get a good deal for him. And he had the opportunity at Liverpool. It didn't work out for him at Liverpool. But a club like West Ham, you know, if we could get someone like Danny Ings in the door, if we had Danny Ings now, right?
Yeah,
I would be confident of us getting top 4.
100%.
That's how much I rate Danny Ings, because he's a goal scorer. He is like a similar player. I wouldn't say he's as good as him, but he's a similar player to Jamie Vardy, the way he plays.
I'm just worried about his injuries. That's the only concern I have for Danny Ings. I rate him as a player, but he's had a few long-term injuries. I think that's what hampered him at Liverpool, you know, because he was...
The thing is, there's a lot of people saying Danny Ings wants Champions League football, but he was at Liverpool and it didn't work out. He's not going to go to Man United. He's not going to go City.
Yeah.
He's not going to go. Maybe Tottenham would be a signing for him, but they're not probably going to get in the top 4, if I'm honest. So it's Leicester maybe might go from if they get Leicester could sign him. He's a signing like Leicester, but is he too similar to Vardy?
But I think there's only so long that they can rely on Vardy. You know, he's what, 32 now, and he Vardy 33, 32?
I'll tell you what a signing, what a player he's been in. He's got to be one of the most. How can I say this? Not the best ever Premier League signing, but value for money. What they got him for and what he's done has got to be up there with the best in Premier League history. I'm not saying he's the best player ever in the Premier League history, but you think where they got him from to what he's done at Leicester, and he does it consistent every season, even in his 30s, he's still banging in goals. What a player! What a player!
The West Ham online fan says, "I'd rather Tony than Ings." Tony's very interesting. I don't know, how old is he? That Ivan Toney from Brentford.
I think he's only sort of early 20s, but he's top goal scorer in the Championship. He's top assist.
Yeah.
He's a great prospect. But I'll tell you what, one thing I would say to that previous comment is let's be greedy and have both.
No, Danny Ings is a fucking class player, man. I've loved Danny Ings since he was at Burnley, let alone Liverpool. He's always been a brilliant player. He's another one that I've always said that we should have got. The problem is with Tony, Tony's a gamble, isn't he? The way, you know, Bowen was the top scorer in the Championship. He's not quite at the same heights here, you know what I mean? Like Danny Ings would fit our system. He's a quality striker. He's a brilliant finisher.
What you're basically saying is that with Ings, he's proven in the Premier League. And that's the difference. You know, you look at bringing players in for the Championship, it takes him a little while to adapt. You know, Bowen, when he come in, you know, you saw the quality there. Benrahma, you see the quality there. It's just adapting to the Premier League.
But what about, like someone said this, the 2 ACL injuries is a concern.
Yeah, that's you know, Kent Hammers I put out earlier. That's the problem, is that at 2 ACL injuries, will they come, you know, that sort of injury is hard to come back from, and he's done really well to come back from having 2 of them. You know, that's one of the worst injuries you can probably get in football is you know, ACLs. And you know, he's come back well, but will that affect him as he goes on his career? You know, that's the gamble. But as we've said before, you know, you can go and sign a player that's never had an injury in his life, and he can get an injury.
Every signing's a gamble, isn't it? Because as you said, someone could have an injury-free career. They play 1 game for you and they break their legs, or you know. Personally, I'd love to see someone like Danny Ings at West Ham, because I think what Nicky said, he's the sort of player that we need. The Tony as well. Listen, I want them both here. I like the look of that Tony. I remember, like my mate that supports Peterborough, I remember him raving about him at the time, saying he was going to be the next up and coming thing. And do you know what? Sometimes it's people don't realise the big step from the Championship to the Premier League. Not a lot of players can do that. You know, it's a
Ollie
massive
Watkins has done it amazingly.
Ollie Watkins done it. if you listed 100 players that have come up from the Championship to the Premier League, I bet you'd only get about 10 or 15 that have proper made it in the Premier League in history. But look, Ollie Watkins would have been a good signing. You know, I like him. I've watched him a lot when I've watched Aston Villa. He's a good player, you know, but we missed that boat. And Tony, I think it was Darren Bent the other day that was talking about him. He actually interviewed Ollie Watkins, and he even said to him that he feels that Ivan Toney is a better player than Ollie Watkins. And he said that, and Darren Bent said that to him, and he said just his finishing. And what I've seen of Toney, he looks a good player. Like, he looks like someone that can come into West Ham, link up with Ben Rama again. He would be a really decent signing, and it's a signing that if we got him and Ings in, I think that'll be a two perfect signings for West Ham in the summer.
Armstrong at Blackburn, isn't you? He's the sort of player that will fit.
Yeah, I was just about to say Armstrong as well at Blackburn. And apparently, we can get him on the cheap. So
the thing
once you hear the word cheap, you know they're going that route.
I'd be happy with Armstrong and Toney. Like if we just did that.
What we've got to look at as well, I think, going forward, you know, Moyes has got this system that we play with, this one up front, but we need to have options in a game where we can change to a two up top. You know, the last time we played a proper 4-4-2, so to speak, I know it's not really the preferred formation anymore, but I still feel that you need to have that option within your squad to be able to go to.
I think when you look at David Moyes' history, especially at Everton, I think he would prefer to play with a two up front. I know the game has changed a lot since then, but as you said, to switch to that and have that option, because if you go two up top, a lot of teams ain't expecting it. So that is the option you've got. And
the thing is, where we've played this five, you know, I'll revert back to the five at the back. But where you play that five at the back with the, you know, we sort of play a 5-4-1, don't we? With a couple of attacking players, you can sort of switch that to a 3-5-2. You know, but you've got to have the right players to fit into doing that system. And I just feel that Moyes is he's building. We look more comfortable at a five in the back. You know, even when you know, we've done really well. We kept all in clean sheets as a 4. We looked a lot more comfortable with the 5. And I just feel that he's trying to build something where we can go from that 5 at the back to then the 3 at the back. You know, so we push forward a bit more, be more attacking, because, you know, Moyes seems to be trying to adapt his game a bit. You know, sometimes his plan B ain't the greatest, but I just feel he's trying to adapt his game and change things up. So I'll just give him a few more options. We might see something a bit different.
Yeah, I want to answer this question. I think it poses an interesting point, right? And so I just want to answer that. Surely we have got a few strikers in our youth teams. What's the point in a youth team if we do not play them? I think the thing is, I wouldn't not sign strikers because we want to give the youth players a chance. I think it's important to have a plan for implementing the youth players. That doesn't mean, right, that you have to rely on them because you haven't signed enough strikers, whether that's in the cup games, whether that's off of the bench, and start to try and ease them in then, rather than like, do you know what, let's not get an Ivan Toney, we've got, you know, Odebeko on the bench, and so we'll throw him in. Like, it needs to be tested. I would rather those players go out on loan and go back into the Championship and get the experience that we're trying to, from the players that we're trying to sign. I would much rather do that and then build them for the future rather than trying to make it happen now.
What you're just saying now, I mean, with Yarmolenko being injured now, it might be an opportunity for someone like Nathan Holland to take that step up, you know, because we've seen glimpses of him, but maybe give him a chance. As you said, we're safe in the Premier League. Start while these players are out injured, give players like Nathan Holland a chance, match day squad, see if he can come on and do something. Because if these players are never given a chance, they're just going to get faded out, loaned out, or sold. Like, you look at Josh Cullen. We all rated Josh Cullen. We thought he was going to be the replacement for Mark Noble. We sold him. He's gone now. So, and I think he's doing well at Anderlecht. You know, so it's one of them. The thing is with the Premier League, I think in the Championship, you can give youth a chance. When you're in the Premier League, there's so much pressure on results because managers can lose their job, 3 losses and you're out. You know, that can happen. So there's a lot of pressure, you know, unless Nicky touched on it the other day, unless you've got someone like a Jermaine Defoe that's going to come in, hit the ground running and score goals straight away, you know, it's a difficult one with the youth. But we've got
sometimes the problem is that you don't know if you've got a Jermaine Defoe because you don't give him a chance. You know, this is
you know if you've got a Jermaine
Scott,
Defoe.
be honest. Since you look at say in the last 10 years, have you seen a striker come from the youth team or under 23s that's hit off?
No,
you haven't.
No.
It's because we haven't. I'm not saying they're not good enough, but the difference between banging them in the under 23s or the under 21s or the reserves as it was back then to stepping up in the Premier League is a total different game. Totally different game.
The thing is, as well, is I feel that if you feel that you've got a young player that's going to cut it, you need to be sending them into the Championship.
Who's the boy we've got now that everyone was banging on about? Grande Silva.
Yeah.
He's Zande Silva.
Zande.
What happened to him? Because I read something on his Twitter today saying that he was naive to trust people or something like that.
And he playing out in Turkey.
Something in his friends or something.
I'm sure he's out playing in Turkey. I could be wrong.
I saw a tweet. Where was it? I'll read it out. I'll find it.
I can't think of his name. The young lad who scored in the FA Cup game. He's now on loan at Bolton.
Yeah, off a Leon.
Oh, Silva's in Greece apparently. I knew it was sort of that area, sort of way. I thought it was Turkey, but it's Greece. So, yeah, and that's the thing. It's sometimes, you know, you've got to try and put. It's really hard because I look at if you think you've got a youth player you want to bring through, you need to put him in a side in the lower division that play similar styles of football to what you play. So it wouldn't be worth if you're playing a one up top. It wouldn't be worth sending a player to go who's a striker to go and play in the team that play two up top.
Thing is, I think if you can go on loan as a youngster to a Championship team and smash it in the Championship, you've got a chance in the Premier League because the Championship is a tough division.
Yeah.
So
you know, we've seen like with Nathan Holland and Marcus Brown. You know, they dropped to League One and they smashed it in League One. Now the step up then is a bit. If the step up from League One up to the Premier League is massive, you've got to be sending them to the Championship. And if they smash it in, and that was a thing for me with Cullen. I do still think if Cullen was given the opportunity, he would have got into the side because he did smash it in the Championship.
Said everyone knew about Defoe at 14. We all knew he was going to be a class striker, but Bournemouth massively helped him out. And I think when he went to Bournemouth, he broke the record, didn't he? He broke Pele's record of scoring in consecutive games. But the thing is with Jermaine Defoe is that I knew him as a youngster, and I see him play school football, and you could tell, even though he was short, you could tell he was going to go to the very top. And the people that he used to hang around with were sort of a bad bunch. And Jermaine Defoe decided to take that step away from them, go to Charlton, play football, become a professional, go to West Ham, go to Bournemouth. And that is why Defoe went to the very top and played for his country in a World Cup, because they're the decisions that youngsters have to make. It's easy to hang around with your mates, but Defoe was always football-minded. And I remember him playing for St. Bonds when he played against Eastleigh the year above me, and I watched the game, and they won 9-0 and he scored 8 goals. You know, and looking at him then, you could tell that he was going to be a player. And even we used to play in the youth club in Eastleigh in the summer play scheme, you know, you could tell that he was a good player. And, you know, it was good to see him. And even when he was at Charlton, he still used to come round and play football with us as youngsters. Nicky remembers, you know, he used to come round and play football. And you could tell. And that's why, you know, some of these young players, you know, they can go down one road or they can go down the right road. And Jermaine Defoe went down the right road, and we always knew he was going to be a great player.
The thing is, with these sort of like youth players, when it comes to like Jermaine Defoe and that, like a lot of these great players are born of the streets. Do you know what I mean? Like they play. It was a different age back in the day, man. You grew up playing, and I knew. God's honest truth. This is no word of a lie. I reckon about 5 or 6 people that could have made it at the top of the game, right?
Belangi was one.
Unfortunately, he was going to the top, and he passed away very early, training with Charlton. He was a friend of mine that I went to school with, and he was going to the top. But I knew players that were even better at their age than Jermaine Defoe, but they just didn't have the attitude. They let things distract them, and that's the thing. I mean, I can't. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I knew him personally. I met him a couple of times at most. He was, a friend of a friend and all that. But you could just tell his attitude was different. He always had a football. He was always into football. Everything was about football. And he was just a quality player within him. But I knew people that could have gone. I knew people that were better than him at that age, and their attitudes were just wrong. And I think this is like a prime example of why, we don't get the amount of talent through the doors now.
Someone's just said a name now. Abs the Dabs just said Ravel Morrison. The talent he had. When you look at interviews with players at the time when Ravel Morrison was at Man United, they said there was the best player they've ever seen. I remember Alex Song in an interview for West Ham. He turned around and said that Ravel Morrison technically was the best player he's ever played with, and Alex Song played with Messi.
Exactly.
I saw an interesting interview with Zaha, right? And he was talking about when they was in the England's under whatever, right, 21s or whatever. And he was saying they was playing against Lithuania, and there was a clip as well. And he was doing all these tricks, taking on everyone on himself, and just not passing the ball. And Zaha had to go up to him and go, "What are you doing? Like, we could all do that against Lithuania. Why are you being selfish?" type thing. And then he pushed Zaha, and Zaha tried to get into it with him. And it's like, it's something it was something up there just wasn't right. His mentality into the game, where it's like maybe
the thing is with Ravel Morrison and when you look at what we just said about Jermaine Defoe, I mean, Jermaine Defoe grew up in Starlane, Canning Town, and we knew the people he hanged around with, and there was some wrong ones. And the thing is, that's the difference between Ravel Morrison and Defoe. Defoe let them people go. He went to the top and played for his country in the World Cup. Ravel Morrison didn't. He still hanged around with them same sort of people, and they used him for his money, and they took him down the wrong path. And that's why Ravel Morrison now is, what is he? He's got to be 26, 27, maybe a little bit older, but he has not got a club now, and he's fading out of football, and he's got so much talent wasted. Because when we watched him at West Ham, I remember watching him at that game against Spurs when we won 3-0, and I thought to myself, wow, we ain't going to keep this player. He's going to go to the very top. He's going to go and play for England. He's going to go and do this and that. But he went down the wrong path. And that's the difference between some players that want to get rid of their past and go the right way, but some players don't. They can't get rid of it.
This is what I'm trying to say about a player's mentality. Like, talent is only a small part of it. It's all about attitude. It's all about application. And it's all about, applying yourself the right ways. And, talent is probably less than 25% of it, I would say, because it's all about mindset. It's all about the way you live your life. It's about dedication. You have to be so dedicated.
And I'll be honest as well, Nick, what you got to realise with Jermaine Defoe is that when he signed for West Ham, you got to look at the people he had around him at the time. He had Rio, Lampard, Cole, Carrick. He had Harry Redknapp. If he had signed for West Ham, say, at a different era, it might not have worked out for him. It's always, that's the thing with football, is who you got around you at the time. You look at the senior players we had at the club at that time. We had an Ian Wright, who Jermaine Defoe idolised. Ian Wright. And he was going into I remember going Chad Weath and seeing Jermaine Defoe turn up in a yellow Fiat Punto, and he didn't even park in the players' car park. He had to park where the fans had to park. But, he was...
I think that's the benefits, right, of going back to the very beginning of the conversation. That's what I think the benefits are of getting someone in like a Sturridge or a Costa or someone like that, someone who's actually played at the very top that they can take advice from. I worry about that young kid Odebeku, because I look around the club and I think, who's he got to take advice from?
I think when you say that there, he's got Antonio. Remember where Antonio started?
A striker.
Yeah, but Antonio started from the bottom.
But he has
started in non-league football, and he's worked his way up. He got called up to the England squad, Antonio. I know he didn't play, but from where he come from to where he went is massive. And I think Odebeku, he has got some good. He's got Declan Rice there. I know they're not strikers, but they will put their arm around him. They will make him feel loved. I know what you're saying. He needs a type of Ian Wright senior player there, or a Les Ferdinand when we had him, or players like that. They need someone like that there. So I do get what you're saying in that way.
Yeah, but is it? That's the thing. He's got there's people there in the back room, that will sit there and not take him under their wing, but advise him the right way. Nolan, Stuart Pearce, these are players that have been in and around the game for a long time, got a lot of experience. Mark Noble, he's seen
him about the game, but I'm talking about as a centre forward.
Yeah, what Nicky means is like positioning, and like when Ian Wright was at West Ham at the time, he was telling Defoe what to work on. And Defoe worked on that. Yeah. I understand what Nicky's saying. Odie Becker hasn't got someone to look up to that he can learn off at the moment. But I suppose the only player he's got there is Antonio.
Do you know? I've got to mention this, by the way. Before I've got to go and sort a dinner out in a sec. But I don't know if you guys saw this. David Gold's tweet. Someone, 5th of March 2020, right? Someone tweeted David Gold, "You are the reason we are where we are in the league. Go back to Birmingham." And then today, he quote tweeted it saying, "Thank you." I
think that was a mistake. I think that he's obviously thinking that that's from today. They haven't read the date on the tweet. Someone's either retweeted that or liked the tweet for it to come up in his mentions. And listen, I know full well David Gold doesn't run that account. That's not David Gold. I know that full well.
Whoever does, right? Because it's the same person who's been running it for years. Because it gets a bit. They get a bit cheeky sometimes.
It's not David Gold.
Yeah, I don't know if David Gold tells them what to say or whatever, right? But either way, it's a terrible look. It's a really bad look to do that.
Oh yeah, of course it is, because whatever they tweet out, people think it's David Gold. So yeah, it's wrong. But I think what's happened there is he's obviously quoting it, thinking that they've written it now, but he's not read the date and that. And I don't know.
I disagree, because the thing is, when you look at, and you probably have seen it, that is par for the course, right? Is it will turn things where he's getting stick, and they will twist it, and it will take the mick a bit.
I mean, it's someone's put it's. I mean, I take it. It means it's not March, it's not March.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's not March, because if it was March, I'd be happy because it's my birthday. And he's just put it up again because in capitals to make me notice. Anus Hamed, I have noticed. I know it's not March, mate, because it'll be my birthday. So listen.
20. Yeah.
I know that, but listen, it's I don't know. I don't
they
know.
We've all looked at tweets and not read the dates. Come on.
I know it's not David Gold, so
I know it is.
Who? Is he? I thought he left the club. What is he still doing? David Gold?
That's who it was rumored to be years ago.
It's not.
This account, the David Gold account, it's always been like that. He's always had a little bit of back and forth with fans. He's always, any criticism he's got, he's given in some stick, and that's what that account is, so it don't surprise me. But, it's just, I believe that they know what they were doing. I don't know if they must talk to David Gold.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Mickey Mouse move to wind the fan base up, but then what do you expect? But as I said,
when things are going well, keep your head down. That's what I mean.
Keep your nut down. Do you remember old Frankie Fryer on Soccer AM? Keep your nut down.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know. I just think he whoever it is not doing him any favours.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Did you? They must surely show and say, David Gold, what do you think here? They've said this, and he keeps tweeting out. There's that tweet in here. I saw my father shagging my missus and my brother stealing my shares, or whichever other way it was around. It was. I came home and he was shagging her.
To be fair, even if it is him, you can make mistakes. He just sticks his foot in it. Just keep quiet. Leave it at that. You know what I mean?
It's entertaining, at least, if not a bit annoying.
It could be worse. I think it could be worse. David Sullivan could have an account.
Yeah, it's pretty poor taste when, whoever you think it is, it's pretty poor taste when, 3 years ago there was people baying for your blood, and now you're trying to take the credit.
Well, especially a few days after being knocked out of the cup.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that was it. Best friend shagged my wife and dad.
Before we go to ask us anything, do you want to preview this sort of Sheffield United game? Do you want to do that now or at the end?
It's going to have to be a really quick ask us anything because I've got to go. But,
I need to go and sort a dinner out because I'm going to be murdered.
Right,
I did get the Chinese the other day. I know a lot of people was asking earlier in the comments. Did you get
it? Looks like it's me and you, mate.
Ask anything.
We'll see it out, mate. We don't fuck about. We'll carry it on. Ring Graham up. Get him on. Sheffield United on Monday. Look, it's going to be a tough game, but a win. Results go our way this weekend. Liverpool got Leicester. Tottenham have got City. Results go our way. A win against Sheffield United, we could be moved back into fifth or even into fourth. So it's it's going to be a tough game. Believe me. Sheffield United. I've been watching them the last few weeks, and they've been putting on some good performances and picked up some results. So, but I still fancy us. Jesse Lingard's back in the team. I think we've got enough to beat them, and I fancy us to win 2. I'm going to go. I said it the other day, 2-0. I fancy us a nice 2-0 victory. Bearing in mind what we've got coming up, it's a big game on Monday. We've got Spurs next week at 12 o'clock, which I don't understand. There's no fans there. Why are they kicking off that fucking early? And then we play City. And then we've got Leeds, Man United, Arsenal coming up. So it's a big win. 3 points is massive on Monday night against Sheffield United.
Absolutely huge.
That's the thing there is as we said the other night on PMP, we don't want to see this defeat to United in the cup begin to unravel our season. It's a big game. It ain't going to be easy against Sheffield United. They've turned the corner a little bit. They've picked up a few results, but they are beatable. And something that I like the fact that we've done this season is, barring Newcastle, we haven't been defeated by anyone outside really of the big six, as they would normally be known. And that's a good thing going into this part of the season. And Moyes' attitude and the way he approaches certain games, I think we'll see as positive a lineup as we probably could see that we've got available. Moyes,
do you know what I can see on Monday night? I think if Antonio's fit, I don't think he starts. He's on the bench, and I could see maybe Lingard playing that free role. I could see him playing that.
I think with no Antonio, mate. I think we'll see Lingard, Bowen, and probably Benrahma switching in and about, because we haven't really got to sit back against Sheffield United. We can sort of look to take the game to them, move the ball very, very quickly.
Sheffield United need the points. They need the win. We need the points as well, but they need the win. And if the more they're attacking us, they're going to leave us loads of space.
And that's the thing. You look at players like Lingard, Bowen, and Benrahma. They've got a bit about them. They've got a bit of pace about them as well. So they're no slouches. So it's a game that I think we've got to go for the jugular in this one. We've got to take the game to Sheffield United, and I think if we do that, we will win comfortably. I think if we don't, we'll drop to their level in the way that we're playing, like we have done against Fulham. Twice now we've been sort of outplayed by Fulham. We can't afford to drop to their level. We've got to up our game. We've got to make sure we move the ball quickly. And for me, unfortunately, I don't want to see Noble in the starting 11 for this game.
I don't think Noble will start. I think it'll be Rice and Souček. I think it'll be Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals, and Lingard.
I reckon it'll be. I think Bowen will be up top. I think Bowen will be up top.
I'm happy either. If Lingard, if Bowen swaps with Lingard, I'm happy with that.
I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I don't want to see no poxy long balls from kick-off like we did for the last couple of games. That's a waste of time.
Yeah, no long balls. We've done so well when we played it on the floor, and like you said, I think we should just go for it. And I'll have put a bit of pace in the side. And like I said, if we can get away with not playing Antonio, hopefully we can get him back for Tottenham, because that's big.
Sorry, that one.
Play
5-3-2. Why not?
Mike's where is it? What's that? Ideal fantasy lads. Gemma Collins in a tight Baywatch costume, or Janet Street Porter Janet Street Porter all day long.
Listen, on that now, I better go and sort her dinner out, otherwise I'll never have another fantasy again.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Hello, Dan.
So, but no. Have a good weekend, everyone, and
See
hopefully
you Monday.
3 points on Monday. Come on, you Irons.
See you later, mate.
Why is
yeah,
he always leave it so late to do a dinner? Why don't you do it before?
That's what I'd like. Prep it. Chuck it right away.
we're going last 10 minutes. Mike's kicking us off. Random question, but what's your favourite music genre, boys?
Rock is mine.
Swedish trance.
It's a random one.
Well,
mine's 60s music, rock and roll. Ha ha ha.
I like indie sort of music.
As I've always said, it's one of them. And I think we're all sort of similar. If it's a good song, you like it. You know.
Peaky Blinders or Gangs of London. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I've never watched Peaky Blinders. I have got it to watch, but I've never watched it. I watched Gangs of London, and I liked it, but I just think it was a bit over the top. But there were some good fight scenes.
I've seen neither, to be honest, so far. So yeah.
I only like Peaky Blinders. I ain't seen the other one, so I can only say Peaky Blinders, I'm afraid. Well, I just see one. What's happening? Have you ever dropped a plate of food before and got upset?
I
have. And I know
I probably
exactly
have, but I can't remember.
I dropped my Chinese. I was the last one to get the Chinese.
I remember once when I was at school and we used to go to George's Pie and Mash for lunch. And I remember once I got a nice pie mash and liquor for lunch, and there was a fight in there and someone knocked it off the table. So that really upset me because and my cherry Coke went everywhere as well. That's what fucking. So yeah,
I was around with Dad's, right? It was fucking funny, man. I was around with Dad's when I was younger, and everyone had Chinese, and I had a plate of Chinese. I was so proud to have this plate of Chinese. And as I knocked it over, my dad used to have a boxer called George, and he literally dived in it, and as he come to dive towards it because I wanted it, the plate smashed, obviously. I've sort of fucking like tried to push him off of it before he could start scoffing it, and he just fucking slid through the noodles, and they went everywhere, and I got proper upset.
I remember that when they knocked the pie, it all kicked off in there, and it all went on the floor, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" I was well upset, and the people in there wouldn't give me a like. They had to buy another one that cost me double. It didn't cost me double; it cost me mum double. But...
yeah, here's one here. Look, how do you eat a Cadbury's cream egg?
In one.
No, I like bite the top off, lick it out. Get all the fucking cream out and then eat the chocolate as a
that's the way I like eating them as well. Ryan with you there, mate.
No, I just fucking shit. That's it, gone like Scooby snack.
What's the dumbest thing you've got into a fight about? I
know mine.
Dumbest thing. Go on, you say yours while I'm trying to think of mine.
I got into a proper fight with a good friend of mine, a proper fisty fight, like went on for ages, over Cumberland having a sports hall on the roof.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He went Eastleigh, I went Cumberland, and he kept on saying, "You've got a sports hall on the roof. You've got a sports hall on the roof." And we had a proper fight. Me and Danny Childs, a proper fight.
I can't remember. I don't think I've ever had a silly reason for a fight.
There was that time you threw that kid through the fucking McDonald's Happy Meal toys. You know, the display stand.
Oh yeah, because that might be it. Yeah, because you know when people used to go through that phase of putting tissue for a straw. And when you do that to me again, I'm gonna. And he done it, and
he put him through, the Happy Meal display stand. He chucked him through it.
Yeah, I fucking hate it when people used to do that. Dirty bastards. Hang on, Candyman knows Danny Charles from Eastleigh.
Yeah, well, he's a good friend of mine.
I've known Charlesy since fucking hell. Since I was about 3, 4. I've known him. I've known Charlesy a long time.
I've known Charlesy about 10 years now, if not longer.
fuck
Oh,
it.
we've
I
known
can tell you a few stories.
Last year we went to Mexico.
I could tell you a few stories about Charlesy when he was younger. He's a good mate though.
Who was your favourite WWE diva back in the day, and why was it China?
Diva.
Sonny.
Mine was Trish.
I used to like the lady with the long legs.
No, who was Puppies? What was her name?
Kitty Cat or
Miss
whatever.
Kitty, yeah, Miss Kitty. Look, Miss Kitty, look, and the cat comes on. Look, that's perfect. What timing that was. That cat was waiting for me to say that, the dirty bastard.
Yeah, no, mine was Trish Stratus.
Trish. Has anyone seen the video of American attorney with a cat filter?
Jimbo put Mae Young. Yeah, do you know what? I see this the other day. Basically, what it was like a Zoom call for a courtroom and all like top lawyers. And his daughter changed the filter on his thing, so he was a cat. But he was talking serious, but he didn't realise. And they was going, sir, you do realise that you're a cat. No, I ain't. You got look it up. Just look up a cat filter and it'll come up.
Yeah, this is an interesting one here. Oh. Billy Shepherd, which three are you picking? Kane, Sterling, Sancho, Rashford, Grealish, Maddison, Foden.
What, for England?
Pick three, yeah.
Kane, Sterling,
Rashford. Me.
Yeah. Do you know what though? It's tough because I'd probably have Kane, Sterling, Rashford, and Foden behind them. Foden, I'll tell you what, that boy. You know, I said it. I remember saying it a couple of years ago when I watched him play for City when he first played for him against us. That boy is going to go to the very top. The talent he's got. He's unbelievable. And if Gareth Southgate can't get him into that team, listen, Gareth Southgate's got a tough job because he's got so much talent to pick from.
Well,
so much.
You just look
at the era, for me, talent-wise, is better than what we had in the golden generation, as they used to say.
You look at them 7 players there. You know, you've got to fit three. How we play, you've got to fit 3 of them into that 7 somehow. You know, it's crazy. We've got some top talent. It's just getting the chemistry right to make it work. But I think
it's all right, lads. How many girls did you all get in school and you can't lie?
How long we got?
I ain't get none.
Me neither.
In school?
No, none.
Oh, what, in school?
I wasn't even interested, mate. I was like, football, that was it. That was me. Football.
I was.
I don't know. None. I'd say none. I wasn't interested.
I remember when I was in year 10 and a year 11 girl wanted, like, that was good.
That was good. Valentine's Day or Pancake Day?
Pancake Day.
I don't know, because I'm married and now I like Valentine's Day. It's a shame I can't go out this year, but we're whatever. We're still enjoy ourselves. I think we're going to get a Chinese on Sunday.
Were you allowed to the casino under Coventry after the League Cup game in around 2006? Sure, I had a beer with you. No.
Was that when? Do you know what? Was that when we took? I don't think that was the right one. I remember going to Coventry when we took 9,000 up there, but I don't know if that was 2006.
I never went.
I remember
2006 was the one. No,
Rico Arena. We took 9,000. No, I don't think it was because Pickion was playing, so that would have been around 2010, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it was that one. But yeah, I've been to the Rico Arena.
I don't think I've been.
Nice stadium. Very nice stadium.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. It definitely weren't us.
What's it? Ryan is definitely rich.
He was rich.
Well, I'll keep quiet so no one knows what I've got.
Last gig you went to, said Alfred No Drap.
Last gig? Music gig?
Must be.
I believe
Do you know what? Do you know what? I ain't even ashamed of saying this. Mine was Westlife. My missus I dragged me missus there. Yeah, Westlife. It must have been.
Mine was
The O2, yeah.
At the London Stadium.
Where was
Sure, that was the last one.
I reckon mine was Foo Fighters.
What, in 07?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Fucking hell, even I went to that one.
The Zvi Festival, Nick, that was after 07.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Like getting crammed in. I just don't like it.
Nicky and Scott had tickets for Foo Fighters, and I remember Nicky ringing me up on the Friday saying, "Oh, someone's pulled out. Do you fancy coming to see Foo Fighters tonight at Wembley?" And
No,
I'm not really a big.
That wasn't like someone pulled out. What happened was I bid for a ticket on eBay and I got it for about a tenner.
Yeah.
And he sent 4.
And I remember saying like, oh, I'm not really into Foo Fighters, but I wanted to see the new Wembley Stadium, so I went. And I'll be honest, I only know one Foo Fighters song. And I remember I went up to the bar to get the beers and the cunt sung it. And that was the only. And I was watching the mosh pits more than anything. But Scott enjoyed himself. He got his tits out.
Every time
it must have been the V Festival because I think that was after that. One of them anyway. But
which team would you love to see relegated? I'm happy with Sheffield United going down, to be honest. I can't stand them. So I'm happy. I hope they don't get out of it.
Yeah, it's got to be them, innit? All them that are down there.
Fine. Ron May Jr. says, what's your dream car?
Dream car?
Mine's an Aston Martin DB9.
I don't know. I like the 4x4s. You know, probably you'd say a top of the range. But sports car, yeah, I'd probably go old school Ferrari. Nice black Ferrari, not the red. It's too poncy. Nice black Ferrari.
It's one I like the look of now. That looks really good. The new Mustang Bullet. That looks really nice.
Someone's got literally where I live. About 2 doors down, someone's got a Mustang, and I'm thinking about it. Like I might try to nick that before I leave.
Do you know what I'd like? On God's honest truth, a Tesla. I'd like.
Nice. They are nice cars. Yeah. They do look nice cars.
Tesla.
It's got to be. It's got to be a petrol car. You can't.
If it's like a sports.
Why has it got to be petrol, Scott?
Because
it's your dream car. I could say fucking Roger Rabbit. It's a car, isn't it? It's my dream.
Yeah, but it's got to be petrol, man.
Why?
Because it has. It's just that's a car. Electric.
What's that diesel?
What about diesel?
No, petrol or diesel. You know what I mean?
You're just dismissing diesel now.
If it's got to be a sports car, it'd be a Lamborghini, I think.
I don't know. Do you know what I'd love? Do you know but it has to be the Back to the Future DeLorean, not just some random DeLorean. Just that. Imagine driving down the road in that, or the Ecto One from Ghostbusters. That'd be the bollocks, wouldn't it? Just pulling in like Morrison's car park in an Ecto One Ghostbusters, like.
Oh, rocking up to an away game in the 18 van.
I'm gonna alter this question a little bit because I don't really like the way he's put it there. So I'm gonna put, if West Ham Fan TV was made into a movie, right? I'm not gonna say what would you call it. Who would play you in the movie? Who would play each one of the?
Scott would be Janosch from Ghostbusters.
I'd probably be like community service boy George.
I don't know. I've heard rumours that Tom Hardy's got posters of me on his wall, so I think I'd have Tom Hardy. I'll give him the respect to let him play me in a movie, or a young Ray Winston. You should.
Who would be Graham? I reckon it'd be Jim's dad from American Pie.
Jim's dad, or the one from Thunderbirds. What was his name?
No, it's got to be Jim's dad. I think he died actually. Jim's dad.
Graham's not dead.
I'm sure Jim's dad died.
You joking?
Oh, he ain't dead.
I think he is.
He ain't.
If he ain't, I do apologise, but
yeah. Put an apology up. He's fucking living it. He loves it. Look at Nicky googling it. Jim's dad said.
yeah, I'm looking. I'm just looking. I'm sure he did.
Dan would be
It was
Moby. Dan would have Moby. Who else we got on the channel? We got anyone else?
Jace.
Who could be Jace?
It'd be The Rock, but you know when he was that big fat one in
No, he could be. You know the Hawaiian geezer in Shallow Al.
oh, yeah, him, yeah. It would definitely be Janosch is Scott. Who's doing you, Ryan?
Who's Tommy Gunn?
Hang on. Why
Who's Tommy Gunn?
Janosch?
Ryan, who's Tommy Gunn? Why do I know that name, but I can't? Is that out of Lockstock? No. Who's Tommy Gunn?
Tommy Gunn's at Rocky 5, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, Tommy Gunn only fights in the ring. Yeah, I might. Yeah, I'm getting a mullet as well.
People saying Steve McFadden for me.
Yeah, or Ross Kemp.
And Eugene Levy is definitely not dead. It was the other guy. I'll tell you who died. It was the one. Do you know Michelle's dad? When the guy, that big guy Bear, when they've hired the strippers and
Yeah,
he died. That who would Dan? Who'd be Dan?
Yeah, I told you. Look, where's he gone? See, I told you. Tom Hardy, he's got posters. He's a big subscriber. He watches every week. He always messages me. I wished.
Dan,
I do like Tom Hardy. I watched that the other night. The Craze, the Legend. What a film that is! Such a good film.
Someone said Graham could be Ian McShane.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a very good shout. That is.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, but Graham's got the mannerisms of Alan from The Hangover.
Dan would be stone cold.
No, someone's just put there. Roy May Jr. has put Danny's Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. Mini Me. That's who he can be. What was his name? Mini Me. What was his real name?
Oh, Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer. Rest in peace.
Nicky said, some people saying this is a good shout. Scott is Ralph Macchio.
Who's Ralph Macchio?
The Karate Kid.
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely Janosch from Ghostbusters too.
Stemmy says cool to play Nicky. I'm sure
Jack's put Matt Lucas for Dan.
That's a good one.
I'll be honest, I'll take Matt Lucas. Dan Ben Kingsley, yeah. The Ben Kingsley in Sexy Beast.
Cool, yeah. You could actually see that.
Capro, just for the sake of it. Scott, you get him chatted up there, I think. Who played Dom?
Fat Alan from Love, Honor and Obey.
Yeah. And that little teddy bear, that little teddy bear at both selected, that could be Marshy.
Marshy could be
Steve, fuck off.
Marshy could be what's that? What's her name? Oh fuck, I can't think of her name. The woman from fuck. I sent you the picture before.
Who are we talking about?
I can't think of her name now. It's gone out of my head.
Who are we talking about?
Marshy.
Oh, Marshy.
No,
the woman out of what's her name? She's in that thing, 10 Things I Hate About You.
I can't think of it. He's definitely that little teddy bear from Bo Sledge. You know that when you used to go, fuck off, Stephen, you used to get a boner. He's come, lipstick's popped out.
Nick Tucker can be who's the one?
Vanos,
yeah.
Who plays Thanos?
Josh Brolin.
That's it, Josh Brolin, yeah.
I'm surprised no one said Robbie Jackson for me. Wait, do you know what? My aim next year, right, when things go back to normal, my aim is to be an extra on EastEnders, and I'm going to make it happen. Honestly, I'm going to make it happen. I don't even want to be in a major scene. I just want to be in the market or in the Vic, just having a little pint in the background.
How'd you go about that?
I am going to make it.
Someone.
And do you know what? When I went to a family barbecue last year, my cousin was in EastEnders. He was an extra. And then when he showed me the pictures of him outside the Vic, he was the boy. You probably won't remember it, but it was a scene with Bobby Bill when he mugged him, knocked his chips out of his hand. That was my cousin. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Someone in here, right? Someone that's watching now or watching after the thing. Someone must know someone that can get Ryan apart in EastEnders.
I speak to Scott Maslin quite a lot, who plays Jack Branning in EastEnders, but I don't know how you bag because they can't get you on. You got to go through like these fucking talent. Listen, you don't need talent to fucking sell fruit and veg on a stall.
You can get extra parts other ways. You ain't got to go.
Do you know what? I just want it to all kick off, and then like Phil Mitchell's getting attacked, and I just like storm in. I go, watch it, Phil. He's got a knife or something.
Just be careful.
Come on, you slags. Yeah, I could. I'll get in touch with Danny Dyer. He might be able to sort it out. But
Dan, my cousin used to go to the original Martin.
Well, the original. I remember seeing the original Martin outside Sugar Hut in Brentwood, and he was having a row with someone. But when I say the original Martin, I mean the Martin, not the first one, the one that was with Sonia, the one that run Jamie.
If you're a baby Martin, him.
yeah. Terence said I look like Nick Cotton. Listen, if that gets me fucking EastEnders, I'll take it. All right, Ma.
No, do you know what? I want to see you. I want to see Ryan have a recurring role. I want him to be like a big Ron character, like have a stall.
You know what, mate? I think deep down, I think just going in EastEnders, being in East London, I reckon I could take to it like duck to water. I reckon I should go in there, main fucking character, sort Phil out, and you know what's gonna happen? I know she passed away, Pat, but she could be like the angel on my shoulder, and we could have that we can own the car lot again. Pat's Cars, run by Ryan. Positive Pat's Cars, sponsored by West Ham Fan TV.
There you go.
I could be the third Mitchell.
And then every now and again, like Nicky could come in and he'd go, "How much that car?" And I'll say, "Well, Sufal only cost 5 million, so I could probably give you that 500 quid, mate."
There you go.
And then Nicky would
go with yours.
And then Nicky could like smile, drive off, and then do. That's it. Fucking give us the script. I'll write the script. Nicky, you can be Minty. I used to love Minty and Gary.
Minty was good.
Bollocks.
The only thing I didn't like about like some of them like EastEnders characters and that, they used to write them in like Minty was meant to come in. He's meant to be like a right nutter, wasn't he? Like one of Phil's mates who can have a right row, and then he ended up like shagging Eva and things like that.
Yeah, but that was like Stuart that's in it now. They brought him in as this hard nut, like, but now he's like one of the good characters in it, like
a comedy character.
Yeah, he's yeah, but that's going to be when things go back to normal. I'm going to make it my aim in the next 3 years to be an extra on EastEnders, and I'm going to be one of them ones that make a fucking fuss of it as well. I'm going to make sure I stand out. Like when it's all kicking off, I'm just in the background, just playing the fruit machine, and then I look around and go, "What's going on here?" What'd you fucking say? Oh, you can't swear. What'd you say?
Nino 1983 said Sam's the third Mitchell. I mean the third Mitchell brother, you Wally. I didn't mean the fucking third Mitchell.
Oh, don't
Mitchell. Billy Mitchell. Jamie Mitchell.
Look, this is the new t-shirt, Nick. This is the new t-shirt. Ryan the Wolford one. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm gonna have a few more vodkas tonight. I'm gonna message Scott Maslin and say, "Listen, Jack, Branning, whatever you want to fucking be called, get me on it, son." Oh,
P and the Queen Vic, that needs to happen.
Huh?
Yeah.
P and the Queen Vic.
Oh, Scott, don't. That's like Buckingham Palace to me. Oh, don't.
I used to work next to the studio where the studio was.
I remember I went to see League of Their Own being recorded, and where they film it is right next to like where you queue up to go in the studios for League of Their Own. The the indoor scenes, like the house scenes where they film in EastEnders, is there. And literally, I remember they had the shutters up, and I was looking through, and I was like, "Oh fucking hell, I love this! I love this." But
my brother's done some work for on the EastEnders set.
Scott, honestly, if they done tours, mate, I'll be there every week.
I thought they did.
No, they don't do tours in EastEnders.
They used to do a tour Coronation Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Coronation Street, when they moved, didn't they? So they left the old studios, but EastEnders filmed 24/7, didn't they? So they can't do tours there. But
They filmed 24/7 to produce that shite. Fucking hell!
what are you talking about, shite, mate? You don't know shit. Go and watch the rest.
I know TV and I know that shite.
It's one of them sets that's proper locked down though. You can't carry a mobile phone, that type of thing on it. It's a very strict set, that one.
They've built a new set now, haven't they? Just round the corner
Round the corner to what?
from the studios where it is now. They've built a brand new set. They've upgraded it. Someone's put Ryan's Bother out of Green Street. Do you know what? I did watch, funny enough, I watched Cass last night. I ain't seen that film for a few years, but I love watching that because I remember when they filmed it, because they filmed that right outside my work where the pub scenes were. And I remember when they shut the what? Ryan could have a pie mash, not do you know what? That could be the scene now. Just about to tuck in, and then someone flies through the table. The pie mash goes.
Yeah,
everywhere.
they're having an old traditional Cockney night, right?
And I go like that. I go.
They're serving pie mash up in a Queen Vic. All of a sudden, Ryan's tucking in. Phil's drunk. I don't know why. He's drunk.
Yeah, Phil's back on the sauce after all these years.
What happens is he says something to someone, they punch him, and they go through Ryan's pie mash, and Ryan can get him and go, "Fucking hell, Phil," or whatever the equivalent is.
I'll stand up and I go, Doc, what's going on? And then he goes
yeah, and that's it. And then it goes off.
I sit there and I go like that. I just look all upset and I go, "This wouldn't have happened if Dirty Dem was still alive."
Well, you could get up and go, "You're out of order, Sheen."
Yeah, nah. You're out of order, Sharon. Walk out.
Yeah, well, that's it. He's got liquor down his nose. You're out of order, Sharon.
Or it all goes down me. The camera pans in, and I look up and I go, "Liberties."
Yeah, just like that.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm meant to be gone. Fucking
yeah. Last week I managed to slip off with Scott and Graham, and when we had Jimmy Walker, I had a piss, but I've been holding it in tonight. But it's been a good night. I've enjoyed it. A few debates, which is good. This is what Friday Night Pints all about, Scott. That's why we kept it on a Friday. Isn't that right, Scott? Good night, Friday.
Perfect.
But we'll be back Monday, isn't it? For the watch-alongs, fan cams, post-match pint. And keep subscribing to the channel. I'm Nicky Slot here, but yeah, keep subscribing because I think we got over 400 subscribers since last week, which is quite good, really, considering. It's difficult.
Our next aim is to get to 60,000.
Yeah, so hopefully we can reach it before the end of the season.
When we first started, we wanted to get the old Upton Park, then the upgraded Upton Park, and now our next step is to get to be able to fill the London Stadium, and then after that it's 100,000. It's Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what we want to do. You know, we've got some. I know I said this last time, but we've got things that we want to do, but we can't because we're in lockdown and it's difficult. So we're keeping them sort of plans to the back of the moment.
Boys, mate, I'm going to tell you this now. When that lockdown finishes, there is one hell of a fucking party coming.
I've already had 2 ex-players because they see the Jimmy Walker show last week, and I've had 2 players saying that they want to attend the Friday Night Pint live Q&A. So it's going to be good. You know, we're trying to get. Do you know what? It's not even about having ex-players there. I think it's just to have us there, the subscribers, the people that watch us week in, week out. That's what we want to do. You know, we don't want to make it about us that night. We just want to make it about having a good piss up and talking to the people that subscribe to us. And
a proper Friday Night Pint.
Yeah, we see names like we'll do Friday Night Pint on the stage. We'll do it for about 10 minutes. We'll let people do a Q&A and then we'll log that off and then we'll just get pissed at the bar. And I think didn't Graham say last week that he's going to bowl the Jaeger bombs for everyone?
I'm sure he said so.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that as well.
Definitely.
No chance of getting them off Dan.
Going to be invited. You're invited before us.
Yeah, everyone's invited. Listen, as long as we, and you know what? The good thing is I'm not like with venues are going to be so desperate for people to be there that we can sort out a nice venue for a good price, fill it up. They take the bar money. We don't want no money. We just want people there. Have a good night. We want to, if we can roll it into a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, whatever.
This was the plan, right? So when the lockdown finishes, as soon as we can go back to the football, what we want to do is we want to get a venue. We're going to do a post-match pint, a Friday night pint, have a party, roll into the next day, then go to the football after, have a drink during the day, blah, 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 before the game. After the game, we're going to do post-match pint live, and then we're going to finish it off with another night out. Because there's been we've missed a few nights.
Simon's just said, where's the planned venue? I'm in Southend. It'll probably be sort of East End way, when it but do you know what? If you want to make it into a tour, we can tour everywhere. Listen, get us a venue in Southend. I'll come down. I'm not that far. I'm happy to come down, but no, it'd be. We want to make it.
We could probably do it like an Essex venue, just where it's somewhere easier for everyone.
Yeah, middle ways.
Yeah, like an Essex venue for the Friday night, and then sort of like a Stratford venue for the Saturday.
Yeah,
as I said, it's. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but you can sort of not take advantage of venues, but you can get a good deal out of a venue. And listen, we're happy to pay the money to get the venue. We just want people to turn up, and we'll invite other channels down, other YouTubers. You know, we're all good mates with them, so you can meet them as well. We try to get some ex-players, and you know, you never know if we could try to get a current player, but I doubt it. But yeah, it'd just be good to see everyone, you know, let our hair down for the night. Well, us that have got here, enjoy the night, and have a jolly good dance, Nicky Hawkins. Because I tell you what, when you see Nicky's legs go on a dance floor, mate, you know that's it. Shits it in the fan. It's off.
My knees are better now. You watch me go.
Now Nicky's got 90% knees back. He's off. Do you know what? I can imagine he practices in the front room.
I do. I practice every night. As soon as I get off of here, I turn off the camera, stand up, and start dancing.
I don't think there's a day I don't dance.
No, I reckon there's one.
I'll be honest. Even when I have a piss, I moonwalk out the toilet, and then I spin round, and the dribble goes everywhere.
Yeah, right. There's one for you.
Hello. Can you come to Stoke-on-Trent all day long? Oh, wait, if I come to Stoke-on-Trent, though, we've got to have a night. We've got to have a day out in Alton Towers. That's up that way, isn't it? Alton Towers.
Yeah,
we'll have a bit of that. Get us on the old. What's that ride I want to go on? I was watching the program on Channel 5. The Wicker Man, is it? The Wicker Man ride?
Oh yeah. I didn't go on that when I was last there.
Yeah, it's all made out of wood and it's got fire around it.
This is what the tour's going to be called.
Bingo wings on top.
What was it someone said the other day? Skeleton with ears, wasn't it? They got it the wrong way round. But yeah, no, listen, we just want to have a fucking good night with people that have been loyal to us, you know, during these difficult times. You know, we've tried to put on as much entertainment as we can.
Friday night pint.
No, not since March. No, we've not missed that.
Yeah, I think we had 1 week off.
Yeah, but we done it on a Sunday. Yeah, if you remember. Yeah, we didn't do it on a Friday because I don't know what happened. I think Nicky was away, and I think you was working, and we moved it to the Sunday, didn't we? So we've always done it, and
we might have had 1 or 2 off when there was games.
When
we've played on a Friday night, yeah, we would have. But yeah, it's been a thing that we started off doing, and it's just grown and grown and grown, and yeah,
it might have had my way. It'd been off air by now, but
yeah, Nicky tried to cancel it 3 months ago. He wouldn't do it on a Sunday.
3 months, about 6 months ago, Ryan took control and he saved it. You got Ryan to thank for that one.
And Scott, he was a big part of it. He wanted to keep it on a Friday.
I think we've nearly been doing this show a year now.
And I enjoy it. I look forward to it. I'll be honest, like with what's going on at the moment, I always get to a Friday and I think, you know what, I'm looking forward to tonight. You know, and I do. It's good. Whether we have debates, whether we have a laugh, whether we have whoever's on the show, it's always good. You know, we've had Marshy on, we've had Russ on from My Hammers 11, we've had Gio on. You know, everyone we seem to ask wants to come on, so it's good. It's good.
Sorry, they are really good. I really enjoy it. Right, let's finish it there. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. You can go and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Like us on Facebook, all the social media. You can check out our t-shirts. Ryan's modelling the newest edition right there. Make a big finger. Make a big finger come out your side.
Yeah, imagine you went like that.
Fingers.
You know what though? These ones have come up a lot better than the last ones, didn't they?
Yeah. They're
really, really nice. Well worth the money.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our newest top in now. But there are other stuff in the store as well.
I just want to quickly answer this one, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Where's it gone? Not that one.
I'm all right, mate.
John, will you stop Friday Night Pint when the world goes back to normal? No, we definitely won't. This is a regular thing now. And the world might go back to normal, but we definitely won't.
This is the new normal.
This is the new norm. Friday Night Pint.
What happens if you want to go out, though?
Well, we just fucking take it with us, live stream.
Yeah, we just take the cameras with us. Yeah, absolutely. But thank you very much for joining us. One thing left to say, boys.
Come on.